Hello everybody, hello chat. Welcome back again. Welcome back to your usual broadcast of Terraria Calamity Mod. What else would it be on this channel, you know? I mean, that said, the new update still isn't out yet, and it won't be for a while, so, you know, here's what it is. Why are we so far down? Get centered properly, please. There we go. Hello Fetty, welcome. So many people love the new Mario Kart world, and man, I loved it too, but I didn't play it. I have played it, and I do like the game. I like the game, and I have some qualms with it at the same time. I have a couple issues with the game that I'm not particularly fond of, but for the most part, yeah, I enjoy it. Now, I can't remember even if in the last stream we beat Crabulon. Seems like we didn't manage to. For some reason I remember having done so, but I clearly haven't. So we're still on Crabulon and Clam. And I'm not particularly keen on the idea of fighting Giant Clam still. I feel like I would rather fight Crabulon. I'll do him a bit more, and then we'll see where we stand, I guess. There's still other things I need to do in this world as well. I need to improve housing still. I need to set up a proper space for magic storage and some relics. But I can worry about the relics later, mostly. Loved my laugh at the plasma fists move for Sonic and Mario. Dude, I was just taken aback by how goddamn strong he was. Like, I know he's supersonic and everything, but he kind of wrecked my entire team with just that one move. It was a laugh of, like, pure horror, I think, of what was happening on my screen. Alright, reanimated carcass time. Maybe if I address him by his title, then he'll respect me more. I don't know. Problem is, he's very tanky. Very tanky. Kogas, are you okay? Why are your eyes closed, buddy? Are you scared? You're supposed to be the scary one. Why are you scared of Crabulon? Okay, this is where the troubles arise. Yeah. Once it goes down here and decides he doesn't want to get back up, that's where some problems start happening. And of course in the second phase. I mean, this is going to take a while if I'm doing it this method. Not the best weapon to use against him. I think Trimarang is probably going to be a better bet. Oh my god, please get back up, dude. Yeah, this is where the real troubles begin. Now he's summoning the spores and everything. Hello. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this mushroom biome generation really isn't great for fighting this dude.
So, how are your troubles going?
Well, I've only just started. But Crabulon's already deciding that he doesn't want to compute.
That's not nice of him.
He won't stay on the platform for more than like 2 seconds for some reason. He always wants to be beneath me, which is where he exclusively cannot be if I want to hurt him. Am I gonna have to replace these platforms with solid block? Oh man. I may just have to. It gets really tight at this point. Neither of my weapons are really doing very much damage. Shield of Cthulhu is definitely still screwing me up. You helped me out to capture Sonic? Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to track down the Master Ball equivalent if you didn't point me in the right direction. That was very much appreciated. Now, I do have an idea. An
But
idea
would
that
that,
I
like,
probably shouldn't try and execute, but I have a plan to get myself a stronger weapon.
those Sonic Smack games Mewtwo equivalent,
Seems like it,
which I
yeah.
like.
And he's actually difficult to go up against as well, which I can't say for
Yeah.
like any legendary Pokemon I've ever fought, except maybe Ultra Necrozma.
Yeah.
Ultra Necrozma is the hardest a fight has ever been for me in Pokemon. Well, not a fight, but a fight against a legendary. I think Totem Lurantis from the same game was worse.
Gen 4 Regigigas is a hard to get legendary because the actual process of tracking them down is a bitch and a half.
I haven't heard it in a while, but yeah. Which
Well,
Gen 4 game though? Which one? Because he's different in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
He's different in Platinum. Diamond and Pearl, I think,
Different in
Stormer is a
Platinum,
bitch.
yeah.
Because in Diamond and Pearl, you've got to have got the other edges from the Ruby Sapphire Emerald, and those are a bitch to get. Because depending on where you are, you might not have the included braille,
Yeah.
like translation thingy. 'cause that
Platinum's
was
the
only
one where
in-
you encounter Regigigas at level 1 for some reason, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
it's so
always very
weird.
strange, but cool, I guess. I mean, I guess it's a newborn Regigigas, whatever that means. The lore implications on that are very strange. Just going off of the basis that Pokemon hatch at level 1, most of the time levels don't really have anything to do with lore at all. But in that specific scenario, it feels intentional, because why else would a legendary be level 1?
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like there's probably been a level 100 wild Pokemon in Gen 4 as well. I don't remember the specifics though. Oh my god, the robot hat. Okay, we got the Cave Story reference again. That always makes me happy when it shows up. I loved playing through Cave Story. I never fought the secret boss. It was too difficult to get to him. I'm gonna wear the Cave Story hat for a little bit. Just because it's cute. May or may not work out. It's risky, but if I can get my hands on what little hell glue is available to me, that will help. That will help my damage scenario against Crabulon. Because he's an unreasonably tanky enemy. Is that the Sunken Sea Lab? I wasn't even meaning to encounter this, but while we're here, sure. Yeah, it is. Ow. Owie. Oof. It's gonna kill me if I keep going at it like that. This is the only lab where the turrets actually pose an issue for me.
Okay. There are some level 100 wild Pokemon you can encounter in the games.
I figured there would be.
In Black 2, White 2, you can encounter a level 100 wild Gyarados, if you get lucky.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's from like just randomly fishing in a place. You could just fish up a level 100 for some reason.
In Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, you can encounter a level, I think Platinum specifically, a level 100 wild Magikarp.
I might already need buffs. Oh. Wow. Oh, I don't have any of the plates on our excavator right now, do I? New PC, so it didn't remember all my vein mines. Terrarian, I remember your vein mines. Give me all that. In case I actually use it for once.
guaranteed level 100 encounter somewhere for a legendary, but I can't for the life of me think where it is.
Beep, 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 beep. Ah, shoot, I'm killing all these little innocent fellas. Oh, I can't even see them, they're so tiny. Draydon, why'd you make little tiny, like, flybots as your repair dudes? They're so cute, but I keep killing them by accident. Yeah, I was watching Simple Flips' Big Blast again, and while he was auto-playing videos while he was sleeping, the one about the beta Pokemon came on again. And I just kind of sat there and watched it a second time. Because it's genuinely interesting.
What I was looking for, a guaranteed level 100 wild legendary encounter in Sword and Shield.
Oh. What's this? Oh, that's the Onyx Lab. Wow, they're pretty close together. I've already been there.
If you have all 3 legendary giants, you can find a raid den
Another Goblin Army?
in the giant's bed with a guaranteed level 100 Regigigas.
It's always Regigigas. I had a feeling it was him.
But those 3,
I had a strange feeling it would be him.
Are, I do believe,
there you go, Stylish.
the only wild Pokemon you can encounter at level 100.
Have you seen, like, the video going over the beta Pokemon stuff and the history of the dude who, like, got all the data from the Giga League?
I've not yet, no.
It's genuinely interesting, but Simple Flips' chat seemed to not enjoy it at all.
They wouldn't.
Well, they seem to have a bit where, like, they just hate whatever video's going on the autoplay. But, like, it's really forced. They try to find any sort of reason to nitpick the video.
What was the reasons for this one?
Because they thought that, like, going into the history of Samus Clark was completely irrelevant to the topic at hand, which was the Nintendo Giga League.
I guess, kinda, but...
But why would you not want to hear about the time that he, like, got arrested because of a VTech scandal? And then was also arrested prior because of a North Korea scandal, where he hacked the entire fucking OS of North Korea.
To be fair, that's not exactly an accomplishment. The operating system for North Korea is just publicly available online. You can just download it and use it if you want. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can.
Yeah, but it's really interesting to hear about how this dude just kind of, like, almost had root access to the entire country.
I cannot, for the life of me, remember who posts Red Star OS online, actually. For all I know, they might actually be responsible for that. Fuck, I've got to check this now.
It might be because of him. Like, I wouldn't doubt it would be because of his endeavors that it's even on the internet in the first place. But no, even, like, hearing about the 2018 Pokéthon incident, I'm a little bit obsessed with how much of a train wreck Pokéthon 2018 was. And how it didn't even stop there. Everything surrounding the history of, like, Nintendo's Giga League is so messy, and you wouldn't know about any of it, because no one likes to talk about it.
If you have Red Star OS installed on your computer, do you know what it can do? It calls home to the North Korean Secret Service to check against a list of restricted files, and then its antivirus will remove them all.
Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling that if you had a North Korean OS, the North Korean, like, security would just be able to look at stuff on your
Oh.
PC.
What did you say was the name of the guy who leaked the Giga Leak?
Zamis Clark.
They're responsible for leaking version 3.0 of Red Star OS.
Yeah, they are the reason it's on the internet. Yeah.
Goddamn.
I mean, they weren't the one that posted... I should clear up, Zamis Clark didn't post the Giga Leak. He just was the one who had all the data and spread it around so that someone eventually would post the Giga Leak.
I think the first two versions of Red Star 1.0 and 2.0 were leaked by someone else. I think 2.0 you can just straight up buy.
Zamis is a very
Something
morally
like
questionable
Dreams,
guy.
thing.
I mean,
Well, then Zamis
naturally,
Clark
he's a
3.0.
hacker. He's a hacker,
Oh,
so he's
yeah.
going to be morally questionable when his hacking is, like, of this large a degree.
I mean, they're damn good at what they do.
They are good at what they do. But didn't the Giga Leak have, like,
What they
a
do is
couple,
crime.
like, personal info of some Nintendo guys in there?
It had the usernames of the people whose accounts they hacked into to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. That stuff probably could have stayed out.
They didn't like fully dox the guy, but it's enough for, you know,
Yeah.
the company who was hacked to know. Because I don't even think it was Nintendo themselves that got directly hacked, was it?
I don't know. Really. It goes into a lot about, like, because a lot of the Pokemon, like, beta stuff was being, like, hoarded and... Well, hoarded is the term they use, just, like, kept from the public because they wanted to maintain clean room code as much as they could. And 4chan's VN, or whatever it is, board got really, really upset about the idea of them hoarding beta stuff. Very, very, very upset. Because they're a bunch of losers.
VP,
Yeah,
probably, and a
VP.
fucking cost they were. You don't want to keep beta Pokemon shit from the 4chan Pokemon board. They're gonna be pissed at you.
No, they were amazingly pissed. And I'm like, God, I'm so glad that I was never one of these motherfuckers.
I mean, I don't blame them for being pissed. I think like beta shit should be public.
Yeah, but to the degree that, like, they rant about it that's where it, like, reaches a point of being just sad.
I mean, maybe.
Hello, Nick.
I don't really agree. I think if you're gonna hoard that shit, I think the same way people like hoard lost media and refuse to share it for themselves and just keep
Yeah.
it for themselves. I think you need to be publicly shamed if you're doing that shit.
I think to the degree where, like, you basically completely demonize a guy over it, that was a bit insane.
Yeah. No. I mean, what's your favourite bit of lost media that you've seen that, like, you've invested in?
That's a good question. It's a good question. But basically the dude who was, like, hoarding it all was doing it off of, like... I mean, I don't hold, like, one specific stance because it's such a messy situation, in all honesty, but, like, he was doing it out of, like, a moral obligation because he felt really, really bad for multi-billion-dollar Nintendo that he had this data.
He could have just deleted it and not mentioned it to anyone, and no one would have fucking known.
Well, here's the thing. He keeps saying over and over again, like, I don't have, like, everything that I had has been posted online. And then he goes on to continue to post more stuff while still talking about, yeah, this is the last time I'm ever trusting anybody else with anything. Like, none of what he's talking about really makes all that much sense when you take into account his actual actions.
I'm not really shocked by that. People are contradictory like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting topic to me. Because, like, almost everybody involved feels like they're a fucking insane person. But no, this one particular hoarder was literally, like, called out by name on the Giga Leak post. That's how bad it was. It breached the Pokemon community.
Yeah. I mean, I hate people who hoard lost media or like beta content with a burning passion.
Me too. I don't like the idea of hoarding, because if you have it and like it's already like, it's going to get out there eventually, whether you do it or not.
I mean, not even that. I think if it's not going to get out there eventually, if you don't act, I think that's an even better reason to release it.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! Oh!
I don't.
Oh
I think
my
there's
fucking
only
god!
positives.
I fucking forgot about that!
Forgot about what?
I'm so sorry, chat! Oh my god, I'm so sorry! I installed a mod that has like a 1 in 100,000 chance every second to Withered Foxy jump scare you when it just happened. My fucking heart stopped. Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. Oh my god! Ah! That was so fucking sudden. I mean, what was I expecting when I installed the mod? Exactly this. But it doesn't make it any better when it actually happens. Oh, that's funny as fuck, dude. I hope it doesn't happen too many times, though. I mean, how long into the stream even are we? We're like, not even half an hour in and it's already happened. Oh no. Please don't happen again this stream, please. I don't think I can take it.
Yeah, I don't think beta content being out there harms anyone in any way. I think it's only a positive for that shit to be out there.
Yeah.
And I do not at all in the slightest feel sorry for Nintendo if they get hacked and that shit gets leaked.
Hell, if they're the one that posts it, then they have the jurisdiction to not include the stuff relevant to, like, the employees' like personal things. But because they hesitated, someone who had it was just like, fuck it, post absolutely everything.
Yeah, they could have censored that.
Yeah, I understand that.
But they chose to be like, oh no, I'm
like,
gonna morally grandstand and
if they were worried about that part getting out,
make
then
a fucking decision. Yeah. Go into MS Paint and just put some black box over it. Problem solved.
Yeah, and then one of their like defenses for not putting it out there was that it's bad data, whatever that means.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't really know what it's bad data means, but I guess, sure, it's like immorally obtained, I guess. Like, that's probably what it means. I don't know. I mean, you have it now. One of the funniest parts though was like when like a team was actually going to publicize the Space World 97 demos of Gold and Silver. They were hoarding it for like a month while they worked on stuff behind the scenes. But
yeah.
4chan didn't even want to wait a month. But like somebody leaked something onto that's not even like the part I'm talking about. Someone leaked something onto the 4chan boards and then was like, "Oh, please don't let this spread, by the way. That might harm the development team and then we'll never actually get it to come out. So please don't spread this." And I'm like, "Buddy, what the actual fuck are you doing posting this on 4chan and then going, please don't let this spread? You are spreading it."
I do quite like the Space World 97 because we've had that for the Space World 97 demo because we've had that for a decent bit now.
Yeah, it's just when it was first coming out, it was a mess.
There's so much information about like scrap Pokemon designs that were in there.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you can go on Bulbapedia and you can see every single design that was in there, and some of them are interesting.
Yeah. I just think the whole thing of like you couldn't even keep the secret yourself. Why are you trusting random internet users to keep the secret?
Oh yeah.
But I guess that's just what 4chan's like. It's a bunch of idiots who have no idea what they're doing. Victor.
Something I would quite like to see.
I'm actually going to head the other way. I need to get to the Profaned Garden more than I do the Crags. Crags will get me nothing right now. I want to go the other way, get the Wayfinder. That will save a lot of time if I can get it this early. I'm mainly looking for demons, by the way. I came down here looking for demons and also trying to get the Wayfinder early. Blade Crest Oath Sword would be cool.
Leaked at some point is the original Ruby and Sapphire demo from Pokemon Festa 2002.
If I ever get popular enough to the point where there's demand for it, I might say fuck it and leak Can't version 3, like what was finished for it. Even though it's not good and not even relevant anymore. You know, it's just interesting to see these things, I think.
Yeah. The reason I really want the Ruby and Sapphire demo specifically is because it's clearly, based off what we can see, it's clearly from a later point in development than say the Space World 97 one was, right?
Yeah.
But we are...
There it is. Blade Crest Oath Sword.
It's early enough.
Hopefully this helps.
That we've still got stuff like Pokemon lacking abilities, or some Pokemon being missing, like Carvana and stuff like that.
Hopefully this helps. Oh, that's not son, or hope this helps daughter. Does that actually annoy you when people, like, in an argument go, hope this helps?
Kinda.
I feel like if it were done to me, then it would annoy me to a greater extent. Like, if they said it to me, that'd probably piss me off.
We know a lot about the X and Y demo, which is cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
And obviously the Ruby Sapphire, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Sun Moon demos, those were all released.
I like the thing Mob Entertainment did for some reason, where they just packaged a prototype version of Chapter 2 in with the actual chapter.
Yeah.
That was funny and strange, and I don't know if they meant to do it. But, like, how could you not mean to do that?
Sword and Shield demo is pretty well documented. I think it would be great if someone could, like, these demos are all well documented. I think it would be great if we could actually get hands on the demo ROM, and people could actually have a look in it to find cool shit in there.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot on the development
And here we
of
are.
like Gen 1, Gen 2. We have basically nothing past like Gen 4. Like, development, secret-wise.
Yeah, we don't know the secrets of the Hoenn. Oh, right, there's a goblin army happening as well. Kind of forgot about that. That's okay. I've got Blade Crest Oath Sword now. This will kind of tear through them a little bit.
We have the Space World 99 demo too.
Yeah, that one was posted a little bit after.
That one's so weird.
Yeah.
Because
same guy had that too and didn't want to post it, so almost the exact same scenario happened. Where, like, someone didn't want to post the demo, so some rando who had it on 4chan was like, fuck it, here y'all go.
Yeah, like, it's basically got most of the stuff from the final game.
Yeah.
Like, there's some graphical differences, there's some text differences, like map differences, trainer rosters are different, but, like, it's a fully playable game, basically.
Do you know about the way that some of the old Gen 1 back sprites were made public?
No.
Because that was Pokethon 2018. Basically, a team called Helix Chamber was showing off a ROM hack that had the actual sprites in them, but they were treating it like it was an actual beta and not a ROM hack.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster the whole way through. And then they came up with this incentive for viewers to donate to read fabricated Pokédex entries, but leaving out the fabricated part. So, you know, basically scamming.
Yeah.
And that kind of killed Helix Chamber's reputation forever. Reasonably so.
It is fucking awesome that we've got back sprites for stuff like elephant or deer or the free Zubat one.
Yeah, but the way that they went about showcasing it was possibly the worst way imaginable to do it.
But the awesome fucking thing is, like, this shows us that, like, Balloonder was going to be in the game. The fucking balloon Pokemon.
Yeah.
Grown and their pre-evolution were going to be in the game.
Like, the funniest part is, like, the reason they were saying it wasn't a ROM hack was because they were supposed to be doing a bit where they, like, start off by saying, oh, it's not a ROM hack, and then eventually reveal what it actually is. But apparently the person running it was waiting for a cue to drop the bit that they never received, so they just never dropped the cue. They at no point decided, okay, enough time has passed, something's gone weird here. Because I guess they have zero agency.
We've got a lot of earlier stuff from Gen 4, surprisingly, because like an older build of that was leaked.
Yeah. A lot of, like, the first 4 gens of Pokemon has been, like, made public now.
Do we have a playable X and Y prototype?
Oh god, I need to get out of here!
Yeah, we've got several playable X and Y prototypes, haven't we?
Hmm. I didn't really know anything about the X and Y stuff.
Well, do you know the Hilda in X and Y image?
Hilda?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had to take a second to remember who that was.
That comes from the December 2010 build that got leaked.
Oh my god, December.
The 2011 build has, like, wacky background music and shit.
Oh my god, 2011.
There's actually a lot of 2011 builds. There's some builds from 2012.
Is that a reference to Sonic.exe?
Earlier title screens and main menus.
Ooh, title screens.
Menus for, like, selecting gender and names and such.
Gender.
I don't think they actually leaked the 4 ROMs, annoyingly. Because I'd love to be able to go play them. We've got a lot
Heavy
of
workbench.
ORAS builds that we know about, although not a lot's been leaked from all of them. Like, some of them, for example, there's only music that's been leaked for me. There was a debug build of Ultra Sun and Moon. Which was pretty awesome, like a Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon debug menu. There's prototypes of Let's Go Eevee and Sword.
That could maybe give us a view into, like, what they were actually thinking when they were making Let's Go Eevee.
Oh yeah, it could.
Hello, Eric. Currently
let's
talking
take a
about
look
what the hell Nintendo was thinking when they made Let's Go Eevee. And Pikachu by
Okay.
extension. Am I the
So
only
we
one that is
have-
like so sad Pokemon Pink never came to be a thing?
Yeah, no, even.
Because that's like
Um,
these leaks are like the reason we know about that as well. At first, when I heard the Pokemon Pink stuff, I was like, "This is a fucking fabrication. This is a lie." But no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
real, and that's insane.
so, Let's Go Eevee early builds. There are 2 of them. We don't know who stole these ones from Nintendo necessarily. They were both leaked by the generosity of 4chan.
Who would have guessed?
The dates of the build line up with when Zamis Clark was hacking Nintendo one time.
One time. You mean he did it more than once?
I'm pretty sure they've been in more than once, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, apparently he's not doing that stuff anymore now. I would hope not, because he kind of got arrested for hacking while he was on parole for hacking, so... Like, if that doesn't get him to stop, nothing will.
Let's take a look at the,
How far am I?
First.
I'm on Crabulon. I've got up to killing the eye. And that's about
So,
it.
reminder that Let's Go Eevee
I haven't
released
fought
on the
King Slime yet
16th
either, have I? I kind of
of November.
refused.
2018, so November 2018 Let's Go Eevee released, right?
Yeah.
This is from February of that year, so that's 8 months before.
Hmm.
The title screen is bad.
Oh dear. Wait, that close to release?
The logo.
Does it look like Security Breach's title screen?
Okay, do you remember what the Let's Go Eevee title screen looks like? With like the Eevee pressing up against it, and it checks for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
outfit they're wearing, and it's absolutely awesome, and I think more Pokemon games should do it.
Yeah.
Right? I am gonna send you an image of it's the same.
The Eye is a fun boss in this. I agree. I think Eye of Cthulhu is one of the best pre-hard mode Infernum fights.
It's the same title screen as the May build that got leaked, so a build from a couple months later.
I really enjoy Eye of Cthulhu in Infernum. Oh, it's basically just concept art, huh?
No, that Eevee is fully animated. It has a loop.
Oh, it's animated.
You just can't see it in video. Like, it's a very simple loop. It's just sort of bouncing up and down, and it smiles a bit and like does a face. But yeah.
Huh. Imagine if Mario Kart World released with a title screen like that.
So Oak comes out from the grass and has you catch your starter in the Let's Go games, right?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I remember like nothing about my playthrough of those games.
Rather than coming out of the grass, he just appears from a nearby house, from like behind you.
How much wasn't added to this game until like the last second?
But for whatever reason, Professor Oak was just chilling behind your house. I don't know why. Who knows, right? Also, Pallet Town has no skybox. It's just black.
When you get to Post Moonlord, all the bosses are just bullet hell? Yeah, bullet hell. Kind of bullet hell. Not all of them. I wouldn't say Dog is a bullet hell. He's got the laser walls. That's the closest it gets to bullet hell. Most of Dog is like 0 bullets at all, actually. But yeah, this isn't my first time playing Infernum. So I am familiar with the bosses at this point.
Capturing is basically the same, except Pokeballs can't be aimed, so you can't actually catch anything.
What? And how
You need
close
to-
was this to release?
8 months.
How were they testing that
need-
system then?
Well, no, you need to use the debug mode and go to the capture settings and then set it to auto hit. And also,
What?
there's no sound effects while
What?
you're capturing.
What?
There's, you know,
None
we
of
don't
this
have
was
an
added until
archive
like the
any
last
of that.
second?
You have a stack of 999 regular balls, and using them does not reduce that number.
Oh, for crying out loud.
When you catch a Pokemon and register it in the Dex, it's off-center, and it doesn't like scale properly.
I
Depending on the
was
Pokemon.
trying to have the question of what were they thinking answered, not like increased tenfold.
So some Pokemon.
This just raises more questions.
Like there's a lovely example image here of a Tauros that's been caught, and the top half of it is off the screen.
What class am I doing? Currently melee. It might change because they added a funny new ranged weapon to Postman Lord. We'll see. I'm not sticking to any particular class. We'll just see how I feel through the playthrough.
The UI for the wild encounters are different, but I kind of like it. It's like a different font. And different like symbols, and I actually quite like it. I don't know. I prefer the way they show the gender in the final version, but it's alright.
I was gonna say I should show some beta stuff for Find the Huggy Wuggies, but I don't think I have like much that was unused in the game. Just like all the stuff that didn't see the light of day in the game is just concepts that I had to tone down a little bit, like the 2D Everhood section being 3D instead. Because I didn't have the time to program in a full 2D different genre of game entirely into the game.
When checking the Pokemon summary, it uses the fire type graphic everywhere.
For every type.
Regardless of the Pokemon. For every type.
Oh dear. Well, this is my lab right now. I'm gonna make it look a little better as we go. The only problem with this is that you don't get exo furniture until like the very end of the game, and I really like the exo stuff.
Anything works. You don't have your trainer rank, and rather than using the 3D renders for the gym leaders images, it uses concept art. Like earlier concept art, but I like the look of it. It's nice art.
Yeah.
You will often NPCs will walk in places they're not supposed to, and the image is one of the NPCs in Pallet Town walking on water.
Oh dear lord. What's my favourite and least favourite boss in this? In Infernum? Let me think. One of my favourite Infernum bosses to fight. Aureus is up there. I do like Lunatic Cultist. I like a couple ones that would probably get me crucified if I say them. My least favourites are probably Old Duke and Poltergast. I really don't like those two. I just think Poltergast is a bit of a slog to fight because you can't hit him half the time, and the red projectiles make me want to tear my face off. So in other words, you could call it a skill issue if you so desire. But I don't like it.
Here's a few cool things. So the first is that you will at times automatically randomly like mount and dismount some of your applicable Pokemon.
Randomly?
Which can even happen in areas that it can't in the final game, such as indoors.
Sudden riding Charizard now jump scare.
So riding your Pokemon was added pretty damn late from the look of it.
Go Gadget, I am now riding Charizard indoors.
Here's something cool. So you know how in some games you can use Headbutt on trees?
Yeah. That makes Pokemon come out.
If you rush past a tree on Tauros in the February 2018 prototype, it plays an animation for the leaves shaking, and it plays a sound effect.
Huh.
That mechanic's not in the final game.
So that's a scrapped ass mechanic, huh?
So that's something that was scrapped. Yeah. No Pokemon cries work ever in this build.
They didn't even have the cries.
Oh no, the sound files are in it.
Okay, they just don't play.
They just don't play.
What the?
And
why?
Is way louder than it's meant to be. But to be fair, consider what the development cycle looks like when they're working on these games, right? Because they make these games shockingly quickly.
They do it. They had to do it like annually at that point, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they've cut back on that a little bit now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, might I add. Some of the bosses have a phase where you have to survive or die trying. Yeah, some of them have desperation phases. Poltergeist is one of them. And, like, there's nothing inherently wrong with Poltergeist's desperation phase, really, except for the time that it bugged out and Poltergeist basically started cheating. But the fact that it's at the very end of Poltergeist's fight makes it all the more painful. Just the fact that you have to go through that in order to get to it. I know Astrogeldon from Catalyst has a desperation phase, and it's maybe the easiest desperation phase I've ever seen a boss have, minus Lunatic Cultist in Infernum. No, Lunatic's is easier than Astrogeldon. His desperation is way easier, somehow. But both of them are easy as hell. You don't even have to move in Lunatic Cultists, though. If you position yourself well enough, you will not have to move.
So, the problem with the summary screens is still there in the May build. Along with
the May build Lav Marine.
Like, when you interact with Pokemon, they can, like, certain ones will shift downwards when you interact with them. There's some different cutscenes. Prototype icons for everything. Prototype credit sequence, which is like an unfinished credit sequence.
Don't forget Escal. Oh, I haven't forgot Escal. I would just rather not think about her desperation phase.
I don't.
That one's agony.
Final credits sequence. Honestly.
I don't remember it. Like I said, I forgot a lot of my time playing Let's Go. Because most of my time playing Let's Go, my brain was completely just turned off. Because, like, you don't have to think when you're playing that game.
So, in the credit sequence, you've got, as the credits go by, you've got some cute little art of your trainer walking along. And, like, their Pokemon walking along behind them. Right? As, on, like, a really small planet as stuff cycles past. Like, buildings, trees, etc.
Right. Good streams. Thank you, Silas Moon.
It's actually a really cool credit sequence. I love it. One of my favorite things of the game.
I've just had a vision.
So
I've just had a vision for this build, and I'm gonna need to like plan it out right now, otherwise I'll forget it.
Yeah. So
it's you sea prisms. For now.
Male and female versions of Pikachu are present in the prototype credit sequence. But you know what they did for Eevee?
What they do?
It's recolored female Pikachus for the Eevees in the prototype credit sequence.
Oh. Does Eevee not have gender differences? No, they do, don't they?
Eevee does.
Yeah, Eevee does. Eevee does.
Has the little heart-shaped pattern of like light colour on the tail, whereas the male has got a more random pattern. So the way they did that is they just sort of coloured the end of the tail on the female Pikachu for the female Eevee.
Oh god. Okay, that should be lined up. Okay, so we're not using sea prisms for this. I can't be bothered unblacklisting them.
The cutscene where you pet your starter in Oak's Lag doesn't work. The starter's missing, so it just looks like you're petting air.
23, 24.
The save select screen is broken because you're holding the Eevee like we do with Pikachu in that version, but the Eevee's not there.
I guess Pikachu was the main version that they worked on, and then like they applied the stuff to Eevee after the fact. That kind of makes sense.
I mean, I guess it must be because we've got included in the May Let's Go Eevee build, which still uses the same title screen as the previous one I've sent you. It has a different title screen included for Let's Go Pikachu. Like a draft version of it. It's the same Let's Go Pikachu title screen that can be found in the Sword and Shield prototypes.
Sword and Shield had Let's Go stuff in it? Why?
I'm pretty sure it's the...
I mean, I don't doubt it, but why?
Same one, yeah. Let me quickly double check.
I mean, that said, Mario Galaxy had Pikmin stuff in it. Mario Galaxy just straight up had Pikmin stuff in its files.
So, from the looks of it, Sword and Shield were being developed at the same time.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah, that adds up.
One of the builds we have of Sword and Shield, dated for December 2017, almost a year before the Let's Go games came out.
Huh.
Uses a lot of early assets from Let's Go in it.
That's interesting. But no, my idea was like having a little planet sort of looking thing on top of this, or like some sort of crystal ball, and then like either side of it we get like things building up.
I don't mind that the art they used in the background for a prototype sword and shield.
Well, the art has never
menu.
been like the art has never been the problem with Pokemon games.
Now hold on. A lot of those Pokemon aren't present in Sword and Shield though. They're included in that art piece.
That makes it funny. I still remember the outrage when that was like announced that they were no longer adding every single Pokemon into all the games. God.
I'm still mad about that.
I remember the outrage. I was part of the outrage when that was announced.
This suffering that is being locked, well, not locked, but having to stay in one room for an hour with incredibly thin walls to hear an entire Pokemon conversation pass.
Okay, so Postwick is all placeholder, but some of the textures are finished. And there's the NPC. There's every NPC is a clone of one random guy.
Oops.
Is this talking about a beta build of Sword and Shield?
Is this a new update?
Yeah.
I think Toho Friends.
Swords
I think Toho Friends updated so that when you hover your cursor over the pet and like the pet is blocking what you're trying to do, pet goes invisible so that you can actually see. That's so nice. That's really nice. I love that. Now they're not going to be in my way. I make this game look really fun. Thanks. I'm literally just building right now, so I'm glad that it's being made entertaining.
Your house is probably the most finished part of this demo, which isn't saying... No! Hop's house on the ground floor is basically finished.
Ah. They must have put a lot of time into that early on.
The lighting's fucky, but otherwise, it's basically finished.
Well, so is the lighting in the finished build.
I can't believe, like, there was only like one scrap interior for Scarlet and Violet. They really did not intend for you to go into many houses, or any houses at all.
Yeah, most of Scarlet Violet takes place, like, outdoors in cities where you can't actually go inside the random people's houses like you can in most Pokemon games.
The main location you could actually enter was a miner's house in Zapico, which is not even one of the towns. Well, it's a small town, but it's not even one of the cities.
Okay, Desert Place definitely needs work, though. I need ideas, though. I've made so many desert places, and I always just make them out of sandstone. I need ideas. I'm going to give the clam, like, a couple attempts now that I have this better sword and the Wayfinder, so it won't be as long to trek back. I'll give it a few attempts and see how much I can be bothered with him this time.
What essentials have we...
I was just about to say that I don't like the clam again.
What essentials have we covered so far in the Pokemon discussion? I noticed the Giga League thing. I don't remember...
We talked about Giga League.
Yeah.
I was talking a lot about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee early builds, and basically early builds that have been leaked in general.
It's because it started with me talking about a video I've watched like twice now about like how the leaks of the Gold and Silver betas came to be, and like the stuff in the Giga Leak.
Were there really Nintendo staff details in the Giga Leak? I thought it was just the Terra Leak that had those.
It had like usernames of them, Kieran says.
It was the Terra Leak that had the usernames for them. I was mistaken.
Oh, so Giga Leak didn't even have any personal Nintendo like users information. So you mean to say that like someone in Sinful Flips' chat was getting really, really upset over nothing? I haven't set the keybind.
Probably, yeah. Okay. Gloria is the only playable character in this build of Sword and Shield. For context, by the way, this build of Sword and Shield, Sean, is from almost a year before the Let's Go games came out.
Here we go.
That's a very early
That makes
build.
sense to me.
They were being worked on at the same time. Gloria, however,
Let's begin.
has all of her battle poses and animations are the same as the Let's Go Pikachu, and
Let's go Pikachu! Kung Fu Pikachu is real! Kung Fu Pikachu is real!
Let's Go Eevee Pro Tag, they have the same animations. However, the art
I love you, Kung Fu
they used on the
Pikachu.
title screen, which features a load of Pokemon not in the final game, and the fact that her bag has a Teddy Ursa charm on it, which is removed in future builds, suggests, to me at least, that she, like, that this is indicative that there was originally meant to be all the Pokemon in the game.
I guess so, and then they realized later on, hey, we could just not.
There
Like-
were a lot of things apparently that indicated the National Dex was intended to carry over.
Yeah, I don't think they started out with the intent of, hey, let's just give up. Something must have happened along the way. Something must have happened along the way that we don't know about yet.
I swear, Gen 10, I don't see, obviously I didn't see any reason for it to be removed for Gen 8, but Gen 10 would be a good time to bring it back. It's probably...
I don't know, I guess they decided, hey, we have too much Pokemon now. There's too many
There are
Pokemons.
1,000, but like, come on, if you can have more than 1,000 and catch it all.
I'm looking now at build 264, which is from March 26, 2018.
Marathon
So,
medalist.
this is
That's cool. I'm a little
a-
busy though, game.
Similar one where it was in development. Where
Just
this is
die
the
already.
second time, but, like, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were in development, right?
Yeah.
We've got some early maps and we've got debug mode. What's in the debug mode? I hope there's something indicating that Brexit hasn't happened yet.
So I
No, there is not.
I also noticed
I forgot that it was called Dexit.
discussion of Pikmin stuff in.
Oh
Mario
yeah,
Galaxy.
there was.
What was the thing that brought that up? Like the thing that had stuff in its files.
It was just Sword and Shield having Let's Go stuff in its files. And I said, and I thought that was weird until I remembered that Mario Galaxy had stuff from Pikmin in its files. So they just kind of do that sometimes, where they leave over stuff from other games.
Didn't Pikmin 1 have a random Mario in it?
It might have, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, Mario was in the Pikmin 1 files. The thing is...
It all comes full circle.
Here's where we can go, right? Because you'd think, well, that's because Pikmin was based off Mario 128 tech demo, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Was Pikmin actually based on that demo or was it not?
I don't know if it was or not. I don't think it was, personally. But... But... I know... But the Mario that is in Pikmin 1 is not the same Mario from 128. It's not the same model.
Yeah. I think it would have been a little more damning if the max amount of Pikmin you could have in the game was 128.
I also
Shoot.
Bonanza.
Okay, build 562.
Okay, I'm in the swing of it. We got him. Thank goodness.
Is the first one to have Dexit in it.
Oh, me? I do not sleep. It is part of my nature. Do seahorses actually not sleep?
There are.
And I guess they don't,
only
because this guy said so.
Terraria told me.
Terraria said it. The seahorse in Terraria said it, so it must be true.
There are only 16 Pokemon in this build of the game.
16.
And this is from May 25th, 2018. Those Pokemon are Charizard, Blastoise,
Naturally.
Pidgeot, Ekans, Arbok, Pikachu, Magnemite, Marowak, Vanillux, Joltik, Furfrou, Greninja, Tyrant,
Hold on.
Aurorus, Avalugg, Bruxish, and Stakataka.
This is a weird. That's a weird list of Pokemon because not only just because what the fuck do you mean Stakataka, but also how many of those were actually in release Sword and Shield? Because I'm pretty sure Blastoise wasn't, and Stakataka definitely wasn't.
Well, that's the thing. Stakataka was with the second DLC, weren't they?
And Gen 2 to 4 just don't exist in that list.
Yeah, it's a very weird list. But you know what this confirms for me?
They
'Cause this is a
selectively pick
theory.
Pokemon.
No. This is a theory I have had for a long fucking time, right? And I started developing this theory when I saw some weird shit that had been data mined from the release build
I love the
of
Wayfinder.
Scarlet and Violet, right? From like the very first build that got publicly released.
They specifically chose it for DLC editions.
But they'd gone ahead and chose not to add Pokemon to the base game so they could sell them to us as a DLC. The whole point of Dexit was to get us to buy DLC so that we can have more of the Pokemon that we like.
I guess that... I guess if that really was the only reason they did it, that's pretty fucked up.
Also, seahorses don't have eyelids, but I believe they sleep.
There's more than enough space on a Switch cartridge to be able to have every Pokemon on there. More than enough.
Do you think Mario Kart World is going to have DLC?
Probably.
I think it might. Because Mario Kart 8 had DLC even before the booster course pass. The only thing is, like, they've got such a well-established world map in World that how would they add more courses to the game on that map? They wouldn't be able to. They would have to introduce, like, a new map or something for the DLC. And I don't know if they want to make a second whole-ass open world map. I just want more characters. Like, I get that that's being a spoiled brat because of, like, the insane picks we got already. But I kind of wish that every single stage hazard enemy was made into a playable character. They have Boom Boom as a stage hazard and not a racer, which I feel like is, like, that's a tease to me, because I would love for Boom Boom to be playable.
Coin Copper's playable and Boom Boom.
Yeah, more so than the Koopalings, I want Boom Boom and Pom Pom as racers in Mario Kart. Even if they're less relevant.
And no, not to sleep, but to rest and stay semi-alert. So you have periods of suspended animation where they lie nose first down.
Oh, fuck! I'm in the middle of something, you piece of shit! It happened again.
Okay.
What timestamp is this? Fuck, I didn't know we could do that in the middle of bosses.
Okay, so you asked a good question, Charlie, which was how many of these are actually in the game at release, right?
This is fucked up.
Of the 17 Pokemon in that list that were in the May 25th, 2018 build, do you want to know how many were in the game at launch?
4.
How many?
5.
5. Well, you weren't far
17.
off, Sean. Oh shit, there goes my adrenaline. I just wanted to grab some hearts, but I screwed myself over. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. His claw attack isn't that intimidating. I would rather him do this than the other one, but also I was a little stupid. Mush Bomb Infernum. Hello Beans, welcome. I apologize for the Withered Foxy jump scare. I installed a mod because I thought it would be funny, and then it happened in the middle of a boss fight.
Some of the May prototype locations seem much more finished. Some of them seem very unfinished. A
Well,
lot of
it is a
them
prototype.
completely lack textures.
Ouch. This weapon's pretty good.
I mean, that's the Sword and Shield prototypes talked about, I suppose.
Yeah. This weapon can hit him through here. I no longer have to worry about him doing this thing, and, like, meaning I can't hit him no more. I should probably kill this guy before I forget he's there.
I find the intentional decision to work on Let's Go and then the first main line since Gen 6 to have no fucking Mega Evolution simultaneously. Really.
Oh my god, I'm adrenaline farming.
I think that explains the thought process with Let's Go Pikachu and even Charlie, which was something you were interested in, wasn't it?
His spores have, like, a set amount of time before they can damage me as well, and it doesn't reach that time frame before they go past me in this spot.
I don't think they did have a thought process. I think they decided to work on two different, very
I'll take
different
it.
Pokemon games at the same time for no discernible reason.
Even this weapon could do it.
They reused that many assets between them, you know?
I mean, he can hit me now with these things. That's not great.
The DS model.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Which I love the upgraded models and textures so much. They just need to find a style and stick with it for every element of the game. The models, the terrain, the models of the environment, the actual terrain, the Pokemon, the textures of the terrain, the textures of the Pokemon. Just find
They're
a
reworking
sweet
the
place
sword
to
next
stick it.
update, I think.
Okay. So the earliest Scarlet and Violet build we've got is from about a year and
I think
a
it's next
bit
update.
before the game came out.
Ooh. Ooh.
There's very little we actually have available from that. There's one from basically damn near a year before it came out. There's very little available for that one. November 11, 2021.
One of the most interesting prototypes to me is like the Sonic 2, like I can't remember if it was the Nick Arcade one, but the one that had the level that was translated to Genocide City in it.
Thank
Okay.
God that they've been in development for as long as it's been.
I am gonna give you a list of Pokemon here, okay? And here's the game we're gonna play. I am gonna give you a list of Pokemon from the November 11, 2021 prototype of Scarlet and Violet. So just like a year and 7 days before the game released, okay?
Mhm.
And I want you to guess what all these Pokemon have in common. Tarantula, Spidops, Tandemouse, Mousehold, Wiglet, Wugtrio, Finizen, Palafin Zero form specifically, Cyclizar, Orthworm, Dondozo, all forms of Tatsukiri, Iron Treads, Koraidon, Miraidon. What do you think those Pokemon have in common?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind for me is that they're all Paldea Pokemon. They're all Gen 9. They're all added in Gen 9.
Surely,
Pokemon
shouldn't then,
that were
like,
shown in
What the
form
fuck,
of-
Crabulon? What was I supposed to do about that?
no. Because what were the first Pokemon that got shown off for Scarlet and Violet?
Ah, started.
And they weren't on that list.
Ah.
These were the only Pokemon who, as of November 11th, 2021, had been modeled. None of those are the only
Oops.
Pokemon, the ones I listed are the only ones at that time that had a model made for them. The others didn't
Made or placed into the game.
in the game. They added Wiglet and Wugtrio to the game before they added the starters or most of the Paradox Pokemon or most of the legendaries.
Yeah.
It is a very strange.
Stop
thing
falling
to
through
learn
that
about.
platform. Why does he choose to do that?
As we approach the 30th anniversary, I really wonder, one, if they're going to announce Gen 10 for that. It seems the most likely time.
I hope they don't. It's still too early.
And two, what the hell Gen 10? What they're going to want our first impression of it to be?
I think it's still too early for Gen 10.
I think it's way too early for them to be giving us even like a glimpse of it.
Give it
Same.
more years. Give it a few more years. Please,
Yes.
for the love of God, give it a few more years.
It'll be funny as hell to see people react to 30 years and no Gen 10, but at the same time, who cares? Who gives a shit? Just let it be. Let them have time.
I think the majority agree that it's way too early for Gen 10. That's the consensus I've seen whenever it's been brought up.
We'd do another remake before we do Gen 10.
Not necessarily, but ideally.
It's gonna be Unova.
Every generation since like Gen 3, it's been the games for that generation remake.
If they do Unova remakes,
games
do you
for
think
that
they're gonna
generation,
butcher it?
remakes. I doubt it.
I mean, can you really can you really release something as bad as Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl again?
I think Gen 5, are the
There we go.
only generation, Gen 5 and obviously Gen 9, the current one, are the only ones to have not, and naturally Gen 1 and 2 because they were first, are the only ones not to have had a remake in them.
I was gonna say Gen 7, but I guess Let's Go counts.
Let's Go
Let's Go
kinda counts, but it's not
It's a
it's not
ghost
exactly a
island, but-
remake.
It's a revisit, let's say.
It's a bunch of shit.
It's like what Black and White did, except with the region that's already been done a lot more. Where it's just, you have the Pokemon only from this region. It's basically... Yeah, it's like Fire and Leaf Green had Go mechanics. And did not have Johto Pokemon.
Yeah, like, and got rid of the post game entirely.
I think this is the attempt. The only good thing Let's Go did was add green.
We need Yellow next. Switch
Yeah, they
to-
didn't add yellow. That was like the one opportunity they had to put her in a game and they didn't do it though. So they ruined it still.
I think Black
There we
2,
go.
White 2 did
Thank
fix
goodness.
the biggest mistake
dead.
of Black and White, which was the Pokedex.
Yeah.
Kelly, I'm so sorry I missed your stream on Saturday. Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. There's never an obligation to watch my streams. You just like tune in if you
Yes,
can.
there is.
No, no,
Yes, there
no.
is. Watch them all. I mean, I'm obligated to be here.
No, you're not. You've literally missed streams before and I haven't cared.
Yes, but I didn't have much of a choice with those. A lot of them.
Still,
Like, you
that's
kind
not
of
an
expect
obligation.
me to miss the Friday ones, but if I missed a Thursday stream, God help me.
No. You've missed Thursday streams before.
God help me if I miss a Thursday stream. She'll kill me. She
Alright.
knows where I live. She will actually hurt me.
You can keep that narrative going if you want.
I'm
It makes you
kidding.
feel better.
Charlie is not abusive towards me in any way, shape, or form. I promise.
I promise. As if that's convincing at all.
Do you need me to convince them you're not abusing me?
No.
I
Need more wood.
beat Elisa.
Wow. Was she hard?
The rest of the gym was she not so much.
Totem Lurantis is still one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in a Pokemon game.
Elisa might have been one of them that I struggled the most with being a reasonable level.
Did you fight Totem Lurantis? Are they in Ultra Sun? They're in Ultra Moon. I'm pretty sure Lurantis isn't one of the ones that changes between versions.
I'm pretty sure in one it's a Serena and in one it's a Lurantis, but that's probably Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra
Yeah,
Moon.
Sun Moon has a Serena. Pretty sure Ultra both games turned it into Lurantis.
Yeah.
And made it so much worse in doing so. Oh no, man, that Lurantis is just on some fucked up shit. Right, well, the
rather go
brain is next, so
Would you
better
rather-
get into it.
Would you rather go against a huge Araquanid or against a huge Wishy-Washy?
I went against Araquanid, and that was also pretty tough. I don't know what Totem Wishy-Washy is like.
Alola does so much more different than I ever remember.
Alola's very cool. I love it.
Like I saw someone reacting to a Mega Pokemon, and obviously you'll need Alola for some of that. just to have the most up-to-date list if people are including Battle Bond in that or something for some reason. And it was demonstrated in an SOS battle, and the guy was like, "How the hell is this a 2v1?"
I do have to admit though, the opening of Sun and Moon is egregious. Like, the only reason I didn't actually play through the first games is because I got Moon for my birthday, and I never touched it again after the intro because it was that bad. But by the time Ultra Moon came out, I was actually able to stick through it.
You never thought...
It took that long to get into the game.
You need to do the Mother Beast fight.
Yeah, I wish I stuck through it, but oh my god, was it so hard. It was so hard to keep my attention span for like an hour of no gameplay and just talking. I can't defend that part. Hi! I forgot how fast you come at me.
Charlie would fucking die instantly if she ever had to play like a visual novel.
No, because you're kind of in for it there.
No, yeah, you sign up for it with a visual novel. When you play a Pokemon game, you sign up to play Pokemon.
Like, I had to drop Pearl immediately because of the pacing. And like, I got a starter. That was it.
Yeah, a visual novel is a completely different thing. I've played visual novels before, and I've sat through them because I went there to read hours of dialogue and do nothing else.
Yes, that is true. That is very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
I think you're forgetting one key detail, however, Charlie.
Hmm?
I was making fun of you, so what I say does not need to necessarily be accurate.
Ah.
That's
You make fun of me for everything.
Oh, I can, and I will. I do.
Yeah.
Bangos.
So here to make me feel bad.
I will be back short. Hey, I don't want to make you feel bad, but yeah.
Why do you insult me
I
then?
will. Why do you insult me?
This is funny.
Can I not do it for the same reason?
I mean, I guess. It's funny.
That would be too. That would be.
You could do it as long as it's funny.
No, I can't. It would maybe Doxels.
I was talking
I'll
about
do it to
insulting me, not you. Not what you were about to say. I don't know what you were about to say. Ouch. Imagine getting beaten up by a stationary slime.
I'll DM it to you.
Okay, I don't need 2 Rod Forks.
Do not read on stream, alright? Stream your read. Woo!
Is there another Crimson Heart down here? It's gotta be. Panic Necklace. Neat. Oh my god, why are you here? Go away. You are literally the worst. I hate this enemy. He just has to intrude on everything. If you explode, I swear to fucking god. Oh. Oh my god. To fix this stupid thing because Catalyst thought it would be a good idea to add that enemy. Like, no, Catalyst, the enemy that you physically cannot out DPS and before it blows up what you were just working on is not a good idea. Well, at least at this stage of the game, you physically cannot out DPS. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but, like, Astra Geldon is really the only thing Catalyst has going for it. It's a damn good fight, but, like, I wish the rest of Catalyst was as good. I'm not getting very far in this. I'm gonna have to make a summon. Yeah. Just gonna require an altar. And mushrooms that I probably don't have. I'll bet. Is that enough? Nope. I'm one off. Well then. So we got one more.
I am going to disappear real quick. I'll be back in a minute.
You already did.
Oh, yeah.
You disappeared so that you could disappear a second time.
Look, okay, my brain got, like... my brain, like, soft-locked, okay? And, like, you still unlocked me.
He was back again and just says he's gonna disappear. The humble magician.
1 hour of silence, occasionally interrupted by Kieran saying he'll be back in a minute.
New Tamiko upload. The moving upload.
How much of this do I need? 10. Oh! Well, ain't that convenient?
I need to breathe.
I just happen to have 10. Anyways, I don't need these two in my inventory anymore. Now, can all these enemies please piss off? I need to fight the piss beast. Ouch. I need to remember exactly how this goes and how it dodges things. Shit. Ow. Ugh. Don't remember if it's easier down here or up there. Although, to be honest, I would rather not fight before it is down in this cave. We'll see. I'm gonna die again. At least I managed to last a little longer. Damage is okay. No idea when the phase transition happens, though. It's a bit of a problem. Take the projectiles home.
Delta spoon.
Pichu's your new main. That's pretty cool. I've never seen someone who mains Pichu before. Right, let's get rid of these boss summons. They
I'm
aren't
gonna have to
helping me.
disappear for a minute.
Is that a bit?
Alright.
It was this time, it was this time. It wasn't the second or first time.
That was a genuine question, just so you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't even joking.
This final time, it was a bit, because I just got back. The
Okay.
second time I said it was not.
Okay.
The second time I said it, I actually did get confused.
Alright. I promise this isn't gonna turn into, like, a Boy Who Cried Wolf thing where I have to ask if it's a bit every single time.
Man who cried frog.
Man Who Cried Fog. Man Who Cried Be Back in a Minute. Ah, shit. Well, as long as you don't turn it into one by joking about it constantly, it won't become a thing.
I won't.
I will believe you as long as you don't lie.
Speaking of which, I will be back. No.
And so it
No,
begins.
I am not turning it into a bit, I promise.
However,
However, no.
I need to watch I linked it, but I didn't actually watch it. I need to watch the 10 Hidden Pomnies in Media video.
It is art.
Game.
I mean, it's by Bizarre, so I assumed it's art. All I know is that, like, she made a piece of artwork for a profile picture that she purposefully made look as AI generated as possible.
And it looks AI generated.
And it seriously looks AI generated.
She's great at what she does.
Yeah. She mimicked the way that AI generates profile pictures like that perfectly.
She said it. I think she said it. It's probably her magnum opus before it released, and a lot of people agree.
Someone called Stain Brutal Calamity DM Dokuro's magnum opus, and I'm like, come on, dude, be so for real. Tell me you're a chronic Calamity fan and have not listened to any of Dokuro's other songs without telling me you haven't listened to any of Dokuro's other songs that aren't Calamity mod. Calling Stain Brutal Calamity his magnum opus. That surely counts as some form of disrespect.
It's full of electrolytes.
Oh, for goodness sake, shut up.
What?
Brain in need of a boost. You need Sneak. I hate Sneak so much, and I've only ever seen advertisements for it. Well, I have seen it in real life in shops, and I'm like, I am not buying that shit.
Have you seen that stupid fridge milkshake advert that starts like it's going to be some alpha male podcast?
Yes! Yes, I have! I've seen that, and it confused the hell out of me the first time, because it doesn't the milkshake, like, just come out of his mouth? Like, just a bottle of milkshake, and then it completely changes.
Like, I roll my eyes like, oh, it's one of these, and then the fucking milkshake just goes out his mouth.
Yeah, what the fuck? I think genuinely I should be doing this above ground. I don't remember if he enrages or not.
How on earth do you fall for that advertisement more than once?
Because of how it's just this guy sat in front of what looks like a very realistic.
I didn't fall for it more than once. It was only the first time. But whenever I saw it, like, after that, I was like, oh god, he's this guy who's with milkshake coming out of his mouth again.
And it's like, the only thing that gets respected or something like
The
that.
only thing that people respect is, and then a milkshake bottle comes out of his mouth and it's like, fridge, buy fridge today. That is such a weird advertisement, but I guess that just makes it effective, huh?
And it looks so much like an actual.
I mean, the fact that we're talking about it right now goes to show that it's effective and it worked. Which is the worst part.
Okay, yes, I suppose that does go to show that, doesn't it? Not good. We have failed as a society.
We've lost to the fridge empire.
I've never seen an ad use that. I know they jump in on a lot of random stuff, but that was the last thing I'd ever expected ad to portray itself as.
Here come the surface attempts. Just gotta put some platforms down up there. He won you 2 tournaments. Damn. Winning tournaments as Pichu is kind of like... That's kind of like... Chad move? I don't like using the term Chad. I don't like a lot of modern terms. But, like, it's kind of replaced a lot of vocabulary now. To my disdain. We should obliterate the English language. I agree. We need a new language. English has run its course.
English speakers.
Eradicate the English.
Unfortunately, what you're identifying as a problem with the English language is happening to every language on the planet.
Yeah,
You
it
just
is.
don't realize it because you don't speak those languages.
Yeah, it's not just the English language. I only hate the English language because I speak it.
And it's not, and I'm gonna say something controversial here, it's not a problem, I don't think.
It's just annoying, but at the end of the day, it's not an actual big deal. It's just annoying.
I mean, the English language, as we know it, only exists because of hundreds and hundreds of words of exactly that happening.
Yeah. But the new ones suck. The new ones are bad.
If I started speaking English like how they spoke English in like the 1200s, 1100s, you would not understand a single word I was saying.
Yeah, but at least you wouldn't be saying skibbity yeah.
You
know?
saying an equivalent.
They did not have an equivalent for skibbity gat back then. 12th century people were like more civil. Were they?
I'm sorry.
I'm just pulling
are
that
you
out my
implying-
ass.
Are you implying that because it was the past, they didn't have some way to refer to a skibbity-gyat, which, if my understanding of Gen Z lingo is right, just refers to a nice ass?
Yeah.
It's just like flippity jink.
Flibbity gibbet. They probably did call it like flibbity gibbet, but that's better than skibbity.
You're gibbeting flibbies.
At least back in the 12th. At least they didn't have like industry plant slop in the 12th century. They just had real industry plants.
Oh. Ayers. Okay,
There've been a lot of people on my feed lately getting like really, really annoyed at the word slop. Probably because it's being used to refer to things they like, e.g. Dandy's World and Forsaken. Which, I'm sorry, but it's slop.
Okay. Let's see if I can pronounce this correctly.
Oh, I'm so full of
I
dedicated
believe the 12th century-ish equivalent of skibbity gyat, if we go with that nice ass meaning, would be Lufflick Ayers.
Zoflik ears. Okay. What?
Something
Start
like that.
start saying that now, guys.
Well, because Lufflick, however
not
pronounced, is the old term for
Oops.
lovely, and Ayers
I love this
is
song.
a alternative form of ears.
I remember exactly where I was the first time I listened to this song.
Where ass comes from.
I remember exactly where I was, what was happening in my life, what I was doing when I listened to this song for the first time. It was that much of a pivotal moment in my life. Onway the goat.
Actually, they might
Me
just say
watching
nice
Inside
ass.
Are you watching Inside Out too? On the way to go.
Ouch. This shit not easy. When does the lightning come out?
When it rains.
Ow! Yeah, then we're gonna be here a while.
Listen to the Paramore song When It Rains.
No. No! Don't listen to Paramore of my own accord, really.
Why not? You hate women, you.
I don't hate fucking women. I listen to... I don't even know why I have to defend myself. Skibbity isn't an adjective. Nobody even says skibbity. You'd be surprised. People do use skibbity as an adjective. Like, as a meme. As a meme. But still. They use it as a meme. Yeah, Kogasa does get scared whenever there's a boss around. I guess she's not the big cat in town when the giant brain turns up, huh?
We should all cosplay
She's a fake
the
yokai.
Top Hat Gang of what?
The Top Hat Gang?
The Top Cat Gang?
Top Cat Gang. Oh, okay. I'll be the pink one.
No! What? No!
What? Did you want to be the pink one? Fuck you. I'm the pink one.
This is not an actual conflict over this.
This is how we disown each other over the pink cat from Top Cat that I don't even remember the name of.
Yeah, I like Benny.
You don't even know her name. You don't get to be her.
It's a guy.
No, it's not. It's a girl. It was a guy. It's a girl now. Remember, Jellystone made them trans. They trans their gender in Jellystone. Like, I'm not joking.
Ah.
Yeah, that's just straight up a thing. And honestly, I respect it. Like, just straight up trans character in Jellystone. That's cool as fuck. And it's Yogi Bear and Top Cat that did it. We got trans rep in, like, Hanna-Barbera universe. That's amazing. I always knew Top Cat was the best. Unironically, though, because I did used to watch Top Cat as a kid whenever it was on. And I liked it. Even if most of the time literally nothing was happening.
Wait, Pacific Rim Brain a woman as well?
I think Brain might have become a woman. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Brain. I kind of forgot Brain even existed, to be honest. It's been a long time. I just remembered the pink one was trans because I can picture her in my head. They gave her a really dopey looking face. It's really funny.
Spook became Spooky and is also female.
Damn, they transed 3 characters in the Top Cat gang. That's insane.
Huge. Whoa! Huge turnaround.
It's like, I gotta tell you, Benny. I gotta tell you, Boo Boo, ever since those cats started playing Calamity Mod, something was a little bit different. And it's like, I think the Calamities have awoken something inside me, Top Cat.
Did they make them trans or did they retcon it? Either way, if you retcon a character from male to female, I think it counts.
It sort of counts. I think the pink one was the heaviest implied to actually be trans, but I don't really know. I haven't done much research into it.
It's a question of did they make it trans representation intentionally or unintentionally? Either way, it's still good.
From what I remember, the pink one specifically was explicitly trans. But like, you would have to look into it yourself. I'm just getting this off of like second hand and like vague memories of being told this stuff.
Could okay, a video I have just found in my recommendations.
Shit, my adrenaline.
Could Batman solve Five Nights at Freddy's?
Probably.
But here's the thing. Looking at the description, right? It's not. The question isn't could Batman solve
Here's the lightning.
It seems. The question is, could Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, solve the law behind Five Nights at Freddy's?
Could Columbo?
Choo Choo is a trans-sapphic. Oh.
Trans-sapphic! Let's fucking go! Yeah, it's straight up canon.
It's straight up, yeah.
Also, yeah, her name's Choo Choo. That's such a cute name. Oh shit, Choo Choo. She definitely had that Thomas autism, and then named herself after it. She's just like me. She is my fucking spirit animal. Choo Choo from Jellystone. Yeah, the lightning is very easy to avoid, much to my relief.
I was gonna say I might be fancy, but that would be the most straight man answer. He's quite popular with the ladies.
I don't know it well enough to say which one I would be.
Probably Boo Boo. No, probably Brain. Boo Boo's the little baby. Boo Boo's the little bear that Yogi's always with, and he's like, "Oh shit, Boo Boo, we gotta eat the picnic." And Boo Boo's like, "Oh gee, Yogi, I don't know about this. I'm like Boo Boo." I don't know what he actually says. He just talks like that.
I am offended.
I'm sorry.
By the Boo Boo one.
Boo Boo's funny. I thought you were gonna say I'm offended by the Boo Boo accusations.
Looking at Brain.
The Boo Boo accusations.
Looking at Brain on the Top Cat wiki. Why does he look high?
In the original series, they did look like that. They changed their design a bit in Jellystone. Obviously, because they made her a girl. Jellystone Brain.
Well,
yeah.
They made Brain female.
They also made her like tiny. They made her a little tiny creature.
They made a lot of them tiny, but Brain is. Oh, she is a goth.
Yeah, she has a goth girl-like personality, so says the wiki. She appears to be more intelligent. Oh yeah, I remember the original bit with Brain in the original series was that they're actually like not that smart, but they kind of changed that a little bit in Jellystone.
Gets smarter through transition.
Becomes trans, suddenly is now smart. many such cases. Alright, yeah. I'm remembering the fun of Infernum now. It's like sucking ass at the fight and then slowly learning it over time and getting really into the flow. Because that was a very good attempt there that I ended up winning with.
Okay, so I'm the original Choo-Choo. You are the Jellystone Choo-Choo.
Is Rain the only one that wears something on their bottom half in any depiction?
I
Because they're
think
wearing
so?
a skirt in Jellystone.
I don't remember.
See, the fact they put them in a skirt raises questions about why all the others are just freeballing you.
Well, she just does it for the aesthetic. None of them
Yeah,
actually
that's what
have
it
anything
says.
to. None of them actually have anything to cover up. That she just does it for the aesthetic,
That is true. That is true.
and you gotta respect her for it.
It's
Choo-Choo
always
has a
weird
sister
to me.
called Chugga Chugga in Jellystone.
They both have the Thomas autism.
It's Chugga Chugga and Choo-Choo.
Chugga and Conroy.
Now hold on, because Choo Choo didn't change their name, did they?
No, they didn't. But that doesn't
That's
mean
their
anything.
That's their birth name.
Unless
The
it was
parents had the Thomas autism.
No, it could have not been her birth name, and she changed it pre-transition, and then she slowly had a journey of self-discovery because she named herself after Choo Choo Train Thomas.
Okay, that's true.
in Choo Choo Train in brackets Thomas. The the boo boo accusations. I need to make a like voice critical style video about Tamiko is not beating the the boo boo allegations.
There's not a Thomas character called Charlie, is there?
Yes, there is.
God damn it, Charlie!
He's purple and he's engine number 14, but he's specifically not why I chose the name Charlie. You already know why I chose the name Charlie.
I know why you chose the name Charlie. It's because of
It's
Charlie
it's arguably worse.
from Five Nights at Freddy's, which is arguably better.
How?
How? How is naming yourself after a FNAF character better than naming yourself after a Thomas character? Gee, I don't know. How about the fact that FNAF characters have normal no,
They all have normal names. There's literally a
all do
train
have
called
normal
Vinny.
names. Yeah.
Okay, maybe not a good example. I'm joking. Apologies if your name is Vinny. I was about to say Vinny Vinesauce, but like that would just that's too specific. That ruins the bit. No, apologies if your name is Vinny and you happen to be watching.
I doubt it.
I don't know. There might be a Vinny watching.
Hey, Vinny.
Hello.
Get back to
Get back to what?
let me remember.
Oh my god.
No, let me remember. Quasartico Inc.
Quasar? What the hell did you just say? What do any of those words mean?
The company in Legend ZA. Because it's a character
Oh.
called Vinny.
Alright. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a character called Vinny. Vanny. Uh-oh. People are comparing Jackie to Vanny because of the amount of screen time the two got. And I'm sorry, but in the single chase in the game that Jackie has, she unironically has more screen time than Vanny. And also has way more aura. I guess
Look,
is the
that
term we use
may-
now. Jackie gets
that
more
may
screen
not be
time,
accurate.
and even if someone runs the calculations and Jackie ends up with less, she did more with her screen time than Vanny did. She did so much more. Like, people complaining that Jackie was all over the promotional material and they didn't use her more than once in the game, I think that's fine. I think Jackie did exactly what she had to. Besides, it's more interesting the Mimic constantly changing things up than using the same outfit again. Like, dude, Jackie already got beaten the fuck up after the first chase scene with her. Why would Mimic go back into a beaten up costume when he's got, like, so many more lying around the facility that aren't beaten and fucked up? It is really funny, though, how he just, like, chases you around in an outfit to the point where it becomes, like, fucked up to beyond repair, and he's like, oh, well, shit, time to jump ship and do this again. Gotta do this again with a new outfit. I'll get him eventually. And that would be funny if it wasn't true. But there is no escaping the Mimic. For Mimic is literally the strongest character in all fiction.
And you escaped the Mimic, I assume.
In all of FNAF, Mimic is like the strongest physical being. Golden Freddy probably could rival him if we're not counting, like, if we're counting, like, apparitions and such. Golden Freddy is probably able to rival him.
Yeah. I can think of a more powerful one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know who I'm going to say?
Who are you suggesting is more powerful than John Mimic?
Andrew.
Fuck off.
And Mr. Trafe in general.
Stitch Wraith isn't stronger than the Mimic, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, he's just straight up not stronger than the Mimic.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm sorry, he is not stronger than the Mimic.
I don't know.
Mimic gets boiled in a fucking furnace and still survives with, like, no sign of being damaged whatsoever.
Mr. Trafe could tank that.
Mimic can bend steel with his fucking bare hands. Springtrap, no, I'm sorry, Springtrap is not stronger than the Mimic. Springtrap gets bodied by the Mimic if the two fight. I'm sorry, he just does.
Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The fact we never see Springtrap or Strafe bend metal with their bare hands does not mean they are incapable of it. I'd actually argue they should be very capable of it. William Afton, with the enhanced strength that being in the Springtrap suit would provide him, should be more than capable of bending metal with his bare hands.
I'm just saying, Springtrap gets boiled in a fire and actually dies.
Yes.
And Mimic doesn't.
Hold on, it's the fire kills him in the sense that it frees his soul. Yes, the Mimic's not possessed.
Exactly, he has an edge over him. The Mimic has an edge because he's not possessed. That makes him stronger. That means he can survive the fire.
Does the Mimic know how to start a fire with which to free Afton's soul?
He's what? That depends on if somebody teaches the Mimic how to light a fire, which with Edwin fucking Murray, I wouldn't be surprised. Mimic is very crafty. He just can't remember if you entered a closet in front of his face 2 seconds ago.
Look, the Mimic's powerful, don't get me wrong.
And that's a mood.
I think their reliance on mimicking things is a big weakness.
I don't know. He's very crafty when he wants to be.
Yes, if he's seen someone do that crafty shit.
There is a reason that, like, look, I've got to be honest, I had to look back on, like, the Mimic's appearance in RP because I was starting to think, could the Mimic come back in RP? Like, realistically, would he have actually died there?
Yes,
and
he could have.
And I looked, and, like, he got like, Coke can-shaped holes blown through him by a airstrike. And I think at that point, where you have to call in a military airstrike just to kill the Mimic, maybe that could do him in.
The circumstance it was in, the Mimic was actively massacring civilians.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it wasn't warranted. I'm not saying it wasn't warranted. It was very much warranted. It's the fucking Mimic.
I agree it was warranted because it was Mimic, and what the Mimic was doing at the time was mimicking what other villains in the roleplay have done,
yeah,
which is massacre people. I think the response was definitely warranted. I think the response was also definitely fucking overkill.
It had to be. to
It
make
should
sure
not
he
take-
fucking died.
I mean, it kinda has to be to make sure he dies, but like, I'm sure there's other less complex ways to kill the Mimic.
Airstrike is quick and efficient, though. Mimic is weak. He can lose a fight to a baby. No, he doesn't. I would not want to put a Mimic in a room with a baby. I seriously wouldn't want to put the Mimic in a room with a baby. That would not be
Okay.
PG-13.
Okay, Mimic. I actually do have a measure to compare the Mimic strength to. Mimic is, in terms of physical strength, comparable to Chewbacca.
I think he's a planetary level strat.
No,
That's a
no,
bit
no,
of that's a bit of hyperbole, okay? That's a bit of comedic hyperbole. I wouldn't go that far, but
Mimic is comparable in strength to your average Wookiee, right? Because what feats can we see the Mimic
guess so.
do?
that just makes me like picture the Mimic with a fucking crossbow, and that is an inherently objectively funny image.
Yeah, one of the main feats we know the Mimic has in terms of strength, which he demonstrates multiple times. So this is something we know. It's not just a one-off.
Rover.
Is the ability to tear the arms off
Yes!
of animatronics
The
and
Rover.
humans alike with his bare hands.
Yeah, he breaks off the
And-
arms and limbs.
And that is a feat we know for a fact Chewbacca could do.
Yeah.
Han Solo explicitly mentions that he can rip people's arms off, and I'm fairly certain we see him rip C-3PO's arms off at some point.
I told you about the time.
Yes, actually,
It's a pretty good comparison.
Okay.
The- the Lego Star Wars games, we see him rip the arms off of C-3PO, and if we take those as canon, which they aren't, but we should because they're very funny, it means that yes, he is on par with the Mimic in terms of strength.
Have I ever told you about the time someone's been highly disabled because that, like, I don't know, friend's cousin or someone that far removed, like, number blocks?
No? What?
So, they were often, like, to help people and they were just always talking about it's so slow, like it's so stupid. And then I have to sit there and back through number blocks because it's
The Mimic versus Curious George. That monkey is gonna be wiped off of the floor in like they're gonna need a whole team to wipe what's left of that monkey off the floor. Maybe I shouldn't say that. That's really, really bad. I'm sorry. But basically, point is, Curious George isn't winning against the Mimic. That's really bad. I'm sorry.
What would it do to George?
George Pig versus the Mimic? Maybe.
No! Kill your George!
No, I know. I'm just thinking about, like... that's just who comes to mind.
Now hold on. Now hold on. I think you're selling Curious George very short.
What is he going to do?
Well, what would the Mimic do to
Okay.
George?
If he was a fully grown ape, then we could have a conversation. But he's not. He's a baby monkey.
Let's start with him having superhuman physical characteristics as far as acrobatics.
Oh
so
dear
as-
Christ!
he has incredible mastery of vehicles.
Are you looking at the versus battles wiki?
He has Toon Force. He has weapon mastery.
You are looking at the
Superhuman
versus
speed.
battles wiki, aren't you?
I am.
I knew it.
I was looking to see if they wanted power scaled Curious
Of
George,
course they
and
have. You underestimate like how much time the people on versus battles have. They have so much free time on their hands. It's unreal.
Okay, but what would the Mimic do to Curious George? What would its first move be?
They put him at street level superhuman. So that's on par with like.
You don't want to know what happens when Curious George gets too curious. I'm sorry, but the Mimic isn't Mangle. It's not, you can't tear apart and put back together the Mimic. You can't break him like that. He's made out of like straight fucking tungsten or something.
Okay. Is Curious George equipped or unequipped?
No, none of them are equipped. None of them have any weapons with which to fight each other.
If Curious George is unequipped, I think he can escape the Mimic.
Can't doubt that. The Mimic is a relentless foe. I can't
Yes.
believe this is the conversation we're having right now.
What if it gets
Curious
during the escape?
George. Curious George. At least with like speed-wise, is
Please move more people in over there.
is like fully capable of escaping him. The
I don't know,
man
Mimic's
in
fast
the
as
yellow-
fuck.
The man in the yellow hat is capable of tying hundreds of balloons around himself, one-handed, in less than a second, and Curious George is able to easily outmaneuver him.
Charlie, what would the Mimic's first move against Curious George be?
I don't know. I don't know if the Mimic has ever encountered a monkey before. I think
How would you
I
deal
think
with
he
George?
looks human enough for the Mimic to still be like doing his funny homicide thing.
What would be the first thing you do against Curious George?
Run!
Scream for God, because I'm not the Mimic.
If you had to go in and
Oh.
fight,
I'm not fighting Curious George. I die.
Is Curious George equipped or unequipped in the scenario where I am encountering him?
unequipped.
We're both unequipped. I die.
I am throwing a banana and hoping he gets distracted long enough for me to escape.
He's not that curious. Piss off.
He's Curious George.
He is.
It's-
He has.
It comes
his
free with
biggest-
your curious. It comes free with your George. He is curious.
His biggest weakness is his intelligence. Like the whole thing is he is too curious for his own good.
He's
He's
a really curious
asshole
monkey. You can
monkey.
distract him with anything. That's your only saving grace. That is the
been in
only
Colosseum.
saving grace about Curious George.
If he's been in the Colosseum for 50 years now or so.
The 7 human calamitous. Yeah. If you couldn't tell, I didn't know what to make a thumbnail for this stream, so I just decided to make 7 human calamituses.
Did we open the Dark Calamitous?
Dark calamitous. That's something Kirby would pull with. They made Dark Meta Knight.
It's just Calamitous without hips.
the man in the yellow hat can definitely defeat the Mimic.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
No,
Yes,
he can't.
He can.
No, he can't.
Yes, he
Have you not
fucking can.
seen what the man who cried Yellow Hat can do?
Stood up, Sean. We're not doing this. The man who cried Yellow Hat. Is this just what we're referring to people as now?
The man with the yellow hat is insanely strong.
Okay,
He's
in all fairness,
he
the man
bashed-
in the yellow hat is a name I cannot take seriously given modern day context.
The man in the yellow hat got stampeded by a herd of giraffes, and do you know what happened?
He lived.
The giraffes got hurt. The man in the yellow hat was unharmed.
That's really, really funny. So he's canonically stronger than Mufasa. No, Mufasa. Fuck! Okay, I'm just like giving up this conversation now. I can't believe I just did that. I'm unsavable. I am unsalvageable. Marasa wins against the Mimic on account of the fact that the Mimic physically cannot kill her. Because she's already dead, by the way. In case we were wondering about that. But no, I guess he's stronger than Mufasa, who is a straight-up lion. So, okay. Maybe he has a chance. But even a lion can't break the Mimic. Again, he's like straight tungsten or something. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with his makeup. Or like what is used to build him. But it is not like any reasonable metal that should be used to make an animatronic.
He's canonically stronger
The
than
Mimic
Rhino.
versus the Marvel Universe. Mimic wins. Mimic solos every single X-Men.
Every X-Men, every single X-Men.
Mimic solos the Thing. Mimic solos the
Here's the
Invisible
thing.
Woman. The Human
Here's the thing.
Torch. Human
I
Torch
think-
cannot do shit against the Mimic. That's already been
Human
proven.
Torch is against Mimic. I think versus the Marvel Universe, Mimic's gonna encounter two big problems.
Me. And
Number
my-
1, the Hulk. Number 2, the Red Hulk.
No. I don't know how the Mimic would match up against those, but it wouldn't be as bad as it
Mimic
could be.
solos those two again.
Yeah.
Mimic low diffs both of them at once.
There's a lot of. I mean, there's a fair few characters that have this power, but a couple that come to mind are Wolverine and Deadpool.
They can't
And
die.
Morbius.
They
Morbius
physically
comes to
cannot.
mind as well.
Okay, well, if they
Healing
physically
factor.
cannot be killed because of like some kind of healing factor or straight up immortality or something, then yeah, that raises competition for our good friend the Mimic.
Like even Spider-Man has a limited healing factor.
Yeah, but we've seen Spider-Man die before, straight up. And I think if a Spider-Man can die, then the Mimic is going to be able to make that happen. If a Spider-Man is capable of dying.
Given Spider-Man's feats of strength, I think he stands probably the best chance against the Mimic even.
He stands an
Especially
alright
with
chance. But the fact that he's not straight up immortal is a big weakness when you're up against the Mimic. This is one hell of a conversation. Just like, if you are not immortal, then you cannot beat the Mimic.
Does Spider-Man believe, or at the very least suspect, that the Mimic may be haunted?
I don't know. I don't
was
really
thinking-
have the Spider-Man mindset, because I'm not a Spider-Man.
Speaking of
Because if
Spider-Man,
if Spider-Man believes the Mimic to be haunted or in some other way like sentient, then Mimic wins hands down. But if Spider-Man is aware that the Mimic is just a very advanced robot, and as a result does not hold back, the Mimic's dying.
does anything ever happen with like Spider-Gwen and anyone who knew a Gwen Stacy that died?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's got to have happened.
I know if the Mimic met her, she'd be snapped in half. It just keeps circling back to your favorite characters are getting brutalized by the Mimic.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Ray William Johnson versus the
Okay, well, he deserves it, though.
Spider-Gwen and Peter Parker from 616 met during the original Spider-Verse event. Peter refused to send her out on any missions because he was still depressed over losing his Gwen Stacy. He wanted to keep this one alive.
I want you. And then she's like,
Um,
oh, you're insane.
But he realizes he's being unfair to her, starts treating her normally. They have a lovely moment
Aww.
where they bond over having failed to protect their own, their love interests,
Oh,
aka
that's
each
sweet.
other, and decide they're gonna watch each other's back. There's loads more interactions. They team up in Clone Conspiracy, which is a stupid story arc that should have never happened.
Speaking of which, the Mimic could survive Order 66.
Oh yeah, because Spider-Gwen has Peter Parker died, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Earth 616 Peter is her college teacher.
Ooh. Who wins, General Grievous or the Mimic?
She's a Mimic.
Mimic beats General Grievous.
Grievous is good, but okay, it depends.
Depends.
What is stronger? The material the Mimic's made out of, or Beskar?
Ooh. Well, I don't know, because we have literally never once seen the Mimic take damage from anything. So we just don't know what can actually hurt him. As far as we know, fucking nothing. It may well be the case that Scott's trying to go with, that literally nothing hurts the Mimic. And Edwin has just kind of created an indestructible being. Somehow.
I'd say the Mimic's capable of taking damage for one simple reason.
Let's just go with the idea that like an airstrike can kill the mimic, and actually manage to blow through him.
The mimic seems to be like seems to be like scratched and like rusted in ruin.
Yeah,
because
that's because he keeps rebuilding himself over the years. But in Secret of the Mimic, he's at his absolute prime. But even in Ruin, he doesn't really take any damage at all from like getting jammed in the elevator.
Well, here's the thing. The fact he rebuilt himself over years and the fact he takes those scratches and that rust demonstrates he can take damage.
Yeah, aging
We've
at
just never
least
seen
can
him
affect the
take it.
Mimic. Maybe that can help us deduce what he's actually made of, if aging is a factor.
I am inclined to say...
This would be such a good game theory. Never mind the lore, just what the fuck is the Mimic actually made of?
Okay. For Grievous versus the Mimic, I am gonna use Star Wars materials as a comparison.
That's fair.
He's got to be stronger than standard steel, so he could be made of something akin to Durasteel.
I think
he's made of steel wool.
Do you think a lightsaber could cut through him? Like, let's go with like, I don't know what lightsaber to go with, because if we're talking about a Disney lightsaber, the answer is no.
Well, if we're talking about a Disney lightsaber, the answer is it depends on the material still.
It depends on what the writers want to happen. It depends on if the writers have given him plot armor.
Okay, so here's the thing with Disney lightsabers, right? The Disney lightsabers, lore-wise, are consistent with what we see from the Lucas trilogy, because we do see them behaving like that in the original trilogy as well. It's just no one really paid attention to it because it's only in like brief moments in the middle of fights. In the final duel between Luke and Vader, we see it acting like that, where it's bouncing off things rather than cutting through them. And my theory for that is that they are edged weapons. Like the Darksaber is, it has an edge, you just can't see it because of the light.
In Ahsoka, doesn't Sabine like get straight up stabbed with a lightsaber and just kind of survives?
Yes.
Do we think the Mimic... I can't find any pictures of the current Mimic level, but does the Mimic really take damage and rebuild itself, or is that just different limbs for its mixed build costume?
I'm pretty sure he just rebuilds himself so that he can like keep himself in shape or whatever. I don't think he like has a practical reason beyond sustainability that he rebuilds himself.
Well, the thing with the Ruin Mimic is that the like right and left arm are... Oh, the right and left arm are actually very different. Same with the legs. So they're different parts from different animatronics.
Aren't they different in Secret of the Mimic as well? I'm pretty sure Mimic has just, like, in every appearance, never had, like, symmetry a part of his design at all.
The thing with the Mimic is that they are...
He has a terrible secret.
So, looking at the design as we see it in Secret of the Mimic...
Which I can't find.
It's because it's still new. So only a few people posted renders of the actual model.
It looks, based off what I'm able to find as far as like images go, but we're very limited. It's like images from bits and pieces from trailers and like screenshots of the game.
Oops.
It looks to me as if the hands at the very least are the same on the Secret of a Mimic as they are on the Security Breach Mimic.
It has one claw hand and one normal hand. Its legs are the same. Its feet are the same. Its legs are slightly different.
Yeah, it does have a claw hand because it like spins it round in its jump scare.
Yeah. It's very tough to say. He's always been very mismatched, though.
Yeah.
They're more similar. It might just be a case of it's to show that it's not taking a symmetrical form, even when it's not conforming to any suit or animatronic.
Oh, I saw people on Twitter earlier, by the way, trying to argue that Jackie isn't the Mimic.
Yeah. It looks to me, based off what we can see of Secret of the Mimic and Ruin of the Mimic, I think it is.
Ruin of the Mimic.
I think. I think it's safe to say the Mimic can take damage. It just takes a decent bit to do it.
A decent bit, more like a
Age
shit ton.
seems to be the main thing that's doing it.
I didn't notice it in game, but during the Nurse Dolly part, as you're going up in the elevator, I thought that the Mimic did straight up get crushed at the top of the elevator, but you can see him jump out of Dolly at the last moments. So, like, maybe it's safe to say that, like, getting crushed between a speeding elevator and the top of a shaft would be able to do some damage to him. Maybe. Because he
Yeah.
decided to jump ship before that happened. But he didn't jump ship before falling into a furnace.
I see.
So I'm inclined to say Grievous could defeat the Mimic, based off what we can see.
Kinda. I mean, Grievous can
I think-
Grievous has been shown capable of defeating, like, even weird magical motherfuckers who use weird
Yeah.
magic powers. I mean, he kind of genocided an entire race of them.
Yeah, I think Grievous wins that battle.
Almost an
I
entire
think-
race of them. Some survived.
The Mimic is clearly heat resistant to a massive
To an
extent.
unreasonable degree. Like, the suit it's in is actively melting, and he's just sitting in there still operating it, with no, like, thoughts of, like, hey, I should leave this suit. No, it doesn't bother him.
Because he gets dropped into the furnace, which is presumably being used to melt steel, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at temperatures of about 1,500 degrees Celsius. A lightsaber would be about anywhere from like 4 or 5 to even potentially like 10 times hotter than that.
Yeah, but if you get stabbed in the stomach with it by one, you can survive. So says Disney.
Yes, which is stupid, but to be fair, under Lucas we saw people get chopped in half by them and survive. So
Yeah, it's never really been consistent, but I think Disney sometimes does it to a more noticeable and stupid degree.
yeah.
Like, come on. If you want Sabine to get hit by a lightsaber but survive it, you could do it in a better way than having it pierce her stomach.
Give her like some fucking Beskar or some. Hell, it doesn't even need to be Beskar. Just give her like a bit of frick armor. Boom. It's lightsaber resistant enough that she'd survive it, even if they were able to cut through it. But, you know, it's frick. She's gonna survive. For context, Charlie and audience, frick is the stuff that the electrostaffs that the Magna Guards use are made out of.
I see. The only Frick I know in Star Wars is Babu Frick, and I was trying to ignore the fact that he exists, but I couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to ignore the cardinal sin that is his existence.
During the Clone Wars, they attempted to use frick to build droids. It didn't work out for them. The
What?
prologue of the Second Republic Commando novel is Omega Squad going to blow up the factory that was building those battle droids. So,
What's Babu Frick?
Babu Frick is the little guy who has to translate Sith for C-3PO in Episode 9 or whatever, or like get the code that's stopping C-3PO from translating Sith out of him. And then they like fake kill, and then they fake quote unquote kill C-3PO, but he by like erasing all his old memories, but then he keeps them anyways. And then they go on to pretend to kill Chewbacca, and then like 5 minutes later go like, oh no, Chewbacca's not dead either. And it's like, can this movie commit to fucking anything? And the answer's no.
By the way, Babu Frick's in like his 80s or 90s in that film.
Yeah.
He's an old ass man. He used to be a spice runner.
Oh,
right.
The Nightmare Critters range is opening. Here's Barbat Chops Plush.
They finally gave Nightmare Critters merch, even though that was the only reason they existed in the first place. It took them this long. It's like, hey, we need a new version of Smiling Critters for merch sales, and then they forgot to actually make the merch. That's how much of a nothing burger the Nightmare Critters are. The devs themselves who made them for the sole purpose of merch forgot to actually make the merch. Didn't mean to pick you up.
Brick is one of several lightsaber resistant materials. It's less resistant than, say... Actually, no, I'd say it's about on par with Beskar. Beskar's slightly better.
I thought you were going to say Frick is one of few lightsaber resistant characters. Like, he just inherently is lightsaber resistant. And I'm like, fuck! I want this stupid guy dead!
Now, something the Acolyte does really
I don't
well...
care.
This is something it does well.
Okay,
something
okay.
I love in the Acolyte is the Stranger's
Still skeptical.
armor is partially made out of cortosis. His gauntlet and his helmet are made from cortosis.
One of the only things I actually have seen from Acolyte is when Twitter got up in arms about someone turning a lightsaber red on command, pretty much.
Yeah.
But then people were trying to say, actually, this makes sense. She's just bleeding the Kyber crystal, like, then and there, right now.
Bleeding the Kyber crystal is a thing that exists, but yeah, you're not doing it like that.
It is definitely a thing that exists that is how the Sith get their Kyber crystals, but it doesn't really work like that, does it?
No. Some of it's really cool, but I love is that the Stranger takes advantage of his cortosis in the most badass way fucking possible, because he's got a cortosis gauntlet, he's got a cortosis helmet. That means if you swing your lightsaber at him...
Oh, for fuck's sake, I think I've heard about this.
He could just grab it and it short circuits, or he could just headbutt it and it short circuits. And yes,
no, I heard this. I heard this from the same guy who did the plot synopsis. He called it stupid because he's like, of all the things you can make, like you can make out of the lightsaber resistant material, you chose a helmet that you have to actively go out of your way to headbutt the lightsaber with in order to get it to actually do anything.
I disagree. I very much disagree. I think it's smart having that for us because there's multiple reasons. There's multiple reasons I think it's smart having that. Firstly, you're protecting like the most important part of the human body, the head. It means your head. It means your head's basically fucking blaster-proof too.
They also just in general don't like the idea of a material that can just say no to lightsabers.
But also, it's extremely effective for blocking out the Force.
I can understand not liking a material that basically just serves as a plot device as to why you can't just use thing on character and like deal with it instantly. Yeah.
It's what the headwear that a lot of younglings back in the Old Republic era war was made out of, because it blocked them from being able to use the Force during training to help themselves out. But it goes both ways. It means when he's wearing a cortosis helmet, the Jedi can't detect him, the Jedi can't read his mind or anything, they can't mind trick him or anything like that. So it's actually it's probably the best use of it if you're fighting a Jedi, because you have just taken out their most useful ability in a duel.
Yeah, I get that.
They can no longer read exactly what you're going to do before you do it.
The inherent problem with making something like that is obviously like, where was it in all this other media?
Mushy.
Well, the meta answer being it didn't fucking exist. But
no, it's always existed.
Well, no, I mean like as a thing that the writers invented. It didn't exist back then as something the writers made. they just kind of wrote it up for the Acolyte. But, like, where was it during, like, the Clone Wars and such?
Well, it's actually in several pieces of Clone Wars media before it's in the Acolyte. It's in a load of, like, Clone Wars books and such. It's in one of the official Clone Wars webcomics. It's in some of the novels. It's in a lot of the comics. It's in some of the Clone Wars video games. It's been around since 1990s.
It's just so strange to have something that's like, no more lightsabers. Just because, like, I guess we can't think of any other way to make this villain an actual threat. So we're just gonna make him lightsaber resistant with this, like, Mary Sue material.
But yeah, it first appeared in 1998, so I was close with 90s.
You were close.
One of the times we see it used is against Darth Vader.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
It's used a lot against Force users by people who know they're not as strong.
Like you're using a fucking crutch. This is pathetic. Don't talk to me again.
If you know you're not as powerful as the guy you're going after duel, like say you're a Jedi in exile and you know Darth Vader's hunting you down,
I'm coming for you.
You can try and get a Cortosis blade, and if you can, and you can use it, or a bit of Cortosis armor, and you can use it on them, it gives you a good enough advantage, but you might survive an extra like 10 seconds against Darth Vader because he's Darth fucking Vader, and it's not going to do you much good.
It's something I try to avoid with Yaranthar, is just making it the ultimate, like, fuck you material. Like, it can do all this stuff, and if you have it, you're basically immune to anything ever. Fuck you. I try to actively avoid doing that, because that's just not good writing. It's like...
Yeah.
It's just like the MacGuffin material.
And do you want to know one of the reasons no one has it?
How did I swap to loadout too? I forgot that I even... I legitimately don't know the button to do that.
It's kind of the same reason that Kyber crystals are so rare post Order 66. The government took it all.
Ah.
You have a material which can just short out lightsabers. Of course, the government wants that. The Palpatine had the walls of his palace completely lined with the stuff, so that no Jedi could cut their way in to get to him. They used it for Shadow Trooper armor. The Separatists used it a lot for a specific type of battle droid. They put it in Starship hulls, the Empire and the Republic both, I believe.
They should have mass-produced that and maybe they would have won. But I guess Palpatine was like, no, you need... No, the plan of my ultimate plan is that you have to lose. And Duke is like, well, okay, I guess we have to lose. I guess I have to abandon my ideals and lose for this guy. He's not going to kill me or anything.
Well, they kind of did try mass-producing them. And Anakin Skywalker figured out a way past it.
Anakin, you need to stop them from doing this because they need to lose. I mean, they have to lose because I'm Chancellor Palpatine.
So the battle droid they made using it was the CB3 Cortosis battle droid. And what the CB3 was, is it's essentially a super battle droid made out of Cortosis.
Or cock and ball 3 Archer.
Yes, exactly. It's made out of Cortosis. It was developed by the Technical Union to fight Jedi. They didn't realise that there's kind of that gap between the top half of the super battle droid's body and the lower half of the body. So,
Hi, Anakin Skywalker.
And there's kind of the gap where the head connects to the rest of it. So Anakin was just like, well, if I stick my lightsaber in the gap, I can just stab over electronics instead. And it works.
Oh, I didn't think about that one. Very good one, Anakin. You're very smart. Thank you, Dooku. We should join my empire instead. Empire? What do you mean? Oh, well, you know.
You know,
Throwing it out there.
when you think about it, your republic is a little bit like an empire. Yeah, I guess that is kind of
Why?
right.
Doesn't your fucking Dooku impression sound awful?
Because it's like I am the Dooku. I go to the separatist army. I'm like, I go up the mountains. I'm like,
I am the power authority.
and again, I can't fight you right now. I need to jump universes real quick and shout down the mountains. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I love exaggerating Anakin's voice to a comical extent. He doesn't have that like tone to him at all in Clone Wars because of the different voice actor. He sounds like just a normal dude in Clone Wars, so it's not as funny.
Why do you sound like such a hot boy?
He sounds so much better in episode 3 than he does in episode 2 as well.
Yeah. The original animated Clone Wars from 2003 is like keeps his episode 2 voice. Like it's so fucking funny, his line deliveries in that show.
Everything from the 2003 Clone Wars is amazing though.
Yeah. Like it's not I'm not like, oh, that was a golden bunny. I'm not giving it shit for that. I think it's really funny.
Oh yeah.
And I'm obviously not insulting Hayden Christensen or like anything like that.
Hayden Christensen I absolutely love as an actor in the Star Wars prequels. He's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
The problem is George Lucas cannot write dialogue to save his life.
Yeah. I need you to lick the pear.
And he didn't have to worry about Harrison Ford threatening to quit on the prequels because Harrison Ford wasn't around anymore. So there was no one there who could just be like, no, this dialogue sucks. If you don't rewrite it, I'm quitting.
Yeah. What a shame he needed someone like that.
Reboot.
They're rebooting the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
It comes out July 21st.
MCU mechanism. Give me a yellow? No. How do I get a white one? I need more ice. I want to find the ice lab so I can get frostback boots. I've never been underground here yet, so let's do that. We've got to go to hell as well. Get hell things. Hellstone. Then we can fight the foreigners.
It's called Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus.
Oh, for crying out loud. It's the downloadable DLC content.
After 9 years of it not existing, they just Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
You wanna come inside my clubhouse? I can't do a good Mickey Mouse anymore. Like, my voice got fucked over in my teenage years. It really did.
It's recovering now.
Kinda, but I haven't felt it.
I'm a recovering teenager.
I'm recovering from teenage. What?
You know, if you actually remembered to do your voice training.
Oh look, man. It's hard to bring myself to do stuff like that for some reason.
Oh, I should have.
Do you need me to start reminding you every day?
No, because it's not gonna help. I will just ignore it. I will just procrastinate more.
What if I swing rhythm?
Bada 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 swing bada. Oh yeah, I didn't actually enter this. I was focused on the islands.
Just do it while you're doing other stuff. Like, do it while you're playing like TF2.
If I do that shit down voice chat, I am getting called so many slurs.
No, not down voice chat, not down voice chat. Don't do your voice training down voice chat. Do it just in the background while you're playing, and once you've got into the voice a bit, start talking in voice chat to other people.
When it comes.
Shut up.
Go full girl voice mode, whatever, in TF2 voice chat. Just turn that shit up to 11.
When am I going back to Mariamon? I don't know. I'll have to see if I feel like it.
Go full girl boss or whatever you call it.
Go girl boss or whatever you could say these days, you know.
Yeah. Do your voice training in the background while you play TF2
Do
and then
your
go
best,
full
do
girl
your
boss
best,
mode in voice
do
chat.
it every day.
Especially when you're outperforming everyone else on your team and you get to anger them and it'll be funny.
That hasn't been happening lately though. I've been like throwing really bad lately at TF2. I lost all my skill
Well,
recently.
maybe if you did your voice training and then went girl voice in TF2,
No correlation.
then people would carry you and you'd actually get loads of score
No.
because everyone would instantly switch to medic to start pocketing.
Nuh-uh. It's not how it works. That's how the slurs happen.
Yeah, I don't think pocket medics are exactly going to be. You just get away with trans chasing pocket medics.
I know a lot of trans people play TF2, but like there's also a load of like far rights. It is a pick and mix of both extremes.
And then there's the.
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, in TF2 it is like just the two people who hate the two types of people who hate each other the fucking most coming together in the same game. That's why the
Maybe
community's always like arguing with each other in pubs.
Well, maybe let's just stop going to pubs.
What are they gonna do? Play competitive? That's even worse.
That was a joke about.
Yeah,
pubs.
I know. I just had to insult competitive when the opportunity arisen. I've never even played competitive once, because I cannot imagine competitive TF2 being fun. It's TF2. That is not a competitive game in the slightest.
Meow. Fuck out of me.
I can't imagine sweating at TF2. You have to be a special type of sad. Oh, Stylist, do you not have a home? That's my bad. That's my bad, honey. I gotta get on that.
I've just been rewatching the ARC Troopers versus Grievous bit from the 2003 Clone Wars.
Go back to Mario Mon. I miss Mario Mon. I like Terraria though. I like Terraria a lot. I want to play this game.
Something I absolutely love. Go on.
She is not a Mario Mon streamer exactly.
No, that was like a one-off series to play, something that I was excited for. But I beat it now, and like, there's only one more dragon that I haven't caught. So I don't really know what I would do.
Something I absolutely love in the 2003 Clone Wars, because I've just been rewatching the ARC Troopers vs Grievous bit of it, is how the ARC Troopers spend like a minute and a half trying to shoot Grievous down while he's like running around all over walls and ceilings. And then Ki-Adi-Mundi just decides to check back into the conversation and just point and go, shoot him down, shoot him down.
Oh my god,
like they're not already trying to do that.
I love Ki-Adi-Mundi. I love that guy so much. He's such a fucking weird guy all around. He really is.
How would Alex Darkplant beat the Mimic?
Isn't Ki-Adi like a pretty fucked up Jedi as well?
Ki-Adi-Mundi is an absolute jerk, and he deserves
even
as far as
Jedi in the Republic go. He's like one of the worst? Question mark. I mean, he leads the Galactic Marines, and those guys are pretty fucked. Last I checked.
The only redeeming factor for Ki-Adi-Mundi is that he cares about the droid attack on the Wookiees. Like,
I'd rather droid attack on the Wookiees.
Admiral Yuraren's trying to be supportive of him, and Ki-Adi-Mundi's a fucking asshole being like, no, there's no such thing as luck, don't.
Why is Sonic...
It's just pure skill.
Why is Sonic Team Team Rose posting?
Probably something to do with Crossworlds. Ow. Fuck. That's fine. I forgot to bring my obsidian skin potion, so that's completely warranted. What did I expect, honestly? Also, I didn't pick up a Hellforge at all. Look at this idiot thinking they can play the game.
I hope Team Rose, like, as a whole are in the fourth. Can you imagine big.
I'm big.
Movies. I fucking hate Blaze.
Remember how
That
Kiadi
weird
Mundi
fucking
comes
cat.
out? Remember how Kiadi Mundi insists in episode 2, as Dooku is like actively plotting to assassinate senators and start a civil war, that no, Dooku's a political idealist, not a murderer.
He's not a murderer. He wouldn't kill someone. And then
It's
I've
made
seen
worse
that
by-
memed to death.
It's made worse by the fact that we now know from Tales of the Jedi and shit like that Dooku absolutely has murdered people before.
Didn't he fucking kill Yaddle?
Yes, he did. Though it's possible most of the Jedi Order don't know that he was the one responsible for that. They can probably figure it out.
It's not rocket science, I would say. Dooku has absconded, and now Yaddle is found dead. What could have happened? Poor Yaddle.
Well, I could have scored and then you could be found dead. That wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, but it's the Jedi Order. It's a little. It's not as like open doors as that. I don't know.
Now, to be fair, in the original Lucas canon, Yaddle didn't die to Dooku.
Yeah. Hey, where's Dooku been? Where's Dooku? Where was Dooku before? Like, where did you last see Dooku? Oh, he was in this place. You know, where we found Yaddle. Oh. What could have possibly happened?
Like, there's a story in which earlier stories with Dooku that are set earlier on. He kills multiple people already.
Yeah. He kills like 5 guys already. In Tales from the Jedi Plex.
In Age of Republic, Count Dooku 1, I believe he does kill multiple people. This is this is set before the Clone Wars begin, before Episode 2. So they absolutely already know Dooku murders people.
They should have made like a bunch of other Jedi in the council stare at Kiadi Mundi like he's a fucking idiot after he said that.
Now, in Kiadi Mundi's defense, he's not
I'm not
entirely
gonna hear
wrong.
that.
No, he's not entirely wrong. Dooku firmly did believe in his politics. He was a political idealist.
He was also a murderer though.
One of Dooku's main problems with the Jedi Order was Yoda. Because Yoda's been in charge for hundreds of words, he has become complacent. He doesn't see all the stuff the Republic does that's wrong. He doesn't care about endless wars or slavery or any of that.
Care, I do not.
Kiadi Mundi.
Remember when wise old man I was?
When the Jedi are actively supporting the institution of slavery, then yeah, Dooku has a point about his politics, and I can see why some amongst the Jedi might agree with him to an extent.
Kiadi Mundi exposed video, 124,000 views.
The Mimic versus every SCP. Yeah, at once, yeah, Mimic's not lasting against that. There are definitely SCPs that vastly overpower the Mimic. It's SCP. He's not, that strong. Most of them have weird paranormal screw you abilities that, can kill you immediately if you just look at them.
Yeah.
And even if the Mimic doesn't have a, real, organic mind or a brain, they can probably still pull something on him. If anyone's taking down the Mimic, it's an SCP or the SCP Foundation themselves.
Yeah.
Be it through the use of an SCP or through the use of an airstrike.
Yeah, either through using a skip against him or through
Slightly
firepower.
cleaner method of doing it, I would assume an airstrike is.
Depending on where exactly the Mimic is, there's potential lower risk of collateral damage.
With an airstrike, yeah. And
Yeah.
since he was just out in the middle of a city.
The closest with, as far as like physical capability goes to the Mimic, would probably have to be SCP-096.
Feel bad for Arnold. Bro is doomed by the narrative.
Except the problem with
Yes,
096
let's go. Obsidian Rose.
is
Don't have to craft it
that
now.
You
So lucky.
can't. You like the problem with 096 is that you can't look at it. The Mimic doesn't have that limitation.
You can definitely look at the Mimic. You just better start beelining it the other way.
This is from an ending you haven't seen yet, so I won't talk about it. All I'll say is, oh my god. I love this scene.
Honestly, 096 is probably
Rock bottom.
more
Hey, that's a pretty
durable
good item.
than the Mimic.
I wouldn't doubt that when it's the SCP we're talking about. Some SCPs, some SCPs' power scaling is fucking insane. In fact, I'd say most of them. That's kind of some of the fun in SCP, I guess.
Yeah.
You can kind of just write whatever the fuck you want, and people will be like, cause it's SCP, people will be like, yeah, okay. They will not question it for a second.
Like, there's a line that can be drawn, but that's when like people are fully taking the piss.
Yeah, you
Like,
have to be
it's
going
still-
very, very stupid for people to draw a line with an SCP.
It's still a serious writing project.
Yeah.
You can't just make a joke SCP unless it's tagged as such.
I mean, people have done so, but it has been tagged as such. Like, probably those ones are not canon, I would say. Time to play!
The worst thing for 096 is the crowd control as well. Because like one of the first tales for 096 goes into detail of like, well, how the fuck are we gonna deal with this if he's heading towards a populated area?
Tales from the
Like-
096.
You've just got to beat 096 there, and what they end up doing is just blindfolding everyone and saying, no, you stay where you are. If you move or take off the blindfold, we will shoot you.
It's like Bird
Because
Box.
if you
Fucking
do
hell.
that, the collateral damage will be worse.
Wow, anyone remember Bird Box? I feel like
I
that's
remember it.
something that like nobody was ever thinking about until I brought it up just now. But it reminded me of Bird Box, even though I've never seen it. I know the general premise of like there's some sort of eldritch horror that if you look at, you go fucking insane. Which I'm like, yeah, fair enough. SCP-096 can survive army weapons, but the Mimic can't survive an airstrike. Yeah, Mimic would die to an airstrike, I think is fair to assume. I'm not so sure about 096. .096 probably survives. Like,
The Mimic.
a lot of SCPs can beat the Mimic. I'm not gonna be unreasonable with power scaling Mimic. I'm not gonna be unreasonable and say that he can clear an SCP. He probably can't. You cannot out-OP an SCP.
Yeah.
There is no writing something stronger than an SCP. An SCP can solo an Ultra Deity if it wants to.
Now hold on. A lot of them are very weak.
Yeah, but some of
The
them...
vast majority are weak, but the strong ones are really fucking strong.
Yeah, the strong ones could definitely beat an Ultra Deity, I'd say.
What? I'm trying to remember which number it was. 343. SCP-343 is God.
God.
The literal Christian
The Christian
God.
God. Well, I'm not about to.
Yeah, I know about that one.
I'm not about to talk about the Christian God versus like the Mimic or an Ultra Deity because that might upset some people.
He's not literally the Christian God, but he is a older looking man whose features are different regardless of depending on who's looking at him, who is male, humanoid, seemingly
no obsidian?
raceless, apparently omnipotent,
Gotta go. There's something to
claims
see.
outright to be the creator of the universe, can walk through walls and
So it's not
do
straight
shit
up the
which should
Christian
be
God. So it's
completely-
kind of like an Emperor of Mankind situation then.
It is. So it depends on what version of SCP canon you go with, because there's a lot there's a lot of stuff where it straight up implies that Christianity is canon. Although it's kind of weirdly a case where religion in general is canon.
Yeah.
Like I'm quickly going to the 001 proposals because I cannot remember which proposal it was. It was proposal.
Can the Mimic, or who would win between the Mimic and Cyros?
Oh right. Code name Dr. Clef, the Gate Guardian.
Oh God.
It is an angel, like a biblical. It is a guy, seemingly made of fire, with 4 flaming wings, who is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Goku versus the Mimic. Hey, I heard you were pretty strong.
He is monitored
tough.
by one single agent from Site Zero. And the rules for that agent, the precautions he needs to take in order to prevent a containment breach is to have good relations with one or more organized Abrahamic faiths, to keep on hand holy water, a rosary, a crucifix, a cross, a prayer rug, or other symbol blessed by an Abrahamic cleric or bishop or equivalent of higher rank, a copy of some Abrahamic scriptures, Torah, Bible, or Quran, and then just regular emergency supplies.
Go away, giant clam.
If
1 obsidian. Not you.
if something goes wrong, he needs to find a second operative who is not Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, and give them instructions on how to take over should the primary person go down.
The thing about Dragon Ball is I've never watched it, so I don't know exactly what Goku is capable of in comparison to the Mimic.
Power scaling is insane. Goku wins.
Goku beats Mimic.
Goku beats Mimic.
Honestly, he's got like 5,000 different forms, so probably.
A lot of Dragon Ball characters beat Mimic. A lot of anime characters in general are able to beat the Mimic.
Also, never watched One Piece. Gonna go off on a limb and say Monkey D. Luffy can beat the Mimic.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Most definitely. I don't think the Mimic can really do too much to Luffy.
I got my grandma to record in Food Cow voice. You told your grandmother a truth.
I have become Hatsune Miku.
Incredibly resistant to damage. The main technique the Mimic has for killing people is ripping arms off, right?
Oh, it's something
Does not
to
work
that
on
degree.
Luffy.
He kind of utilizes a lot of weird, fucked up methods in the epilogues, I think.
True.
Pretty sure he just straight up scoops someone's brains out in one of them, because he feels like it.
I wonder where he learned that from.
Good. Maybe that's why John FNAF thought he was baby, for some reason.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I've seen an image of like the Mimic's ruined design with people pointing out with people who've edited it to point out where they think all the different parts came from. They seemed to think one of the legs came from Ballora.
I don't know about that.
Like it was made using parts of her casing, not that it was made using parts of her endo.
No, definitely not made with parts using her
Probably not.
endo, because she was assimilated.
her endo literally doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
If it was her endo, it would be one of the AR replicas, which means nothing if that's the case.
Yeah.
But then if it is her casing, that also means nothing.
I am become Vocaloid.
Yeah. I think Ash's Pikachu can beat the Mimic. I don't fully remember the feats that Ash's Pikachu has been able to pull off over the years.
Which Pikachu
He
are
might
we
stand a
talking-
chance. Ash's Pikachu specifically.
When?
I don't know. Just his Pikachu. The Pikachu
Because
that...
it just started from 0 in Unova, basically.
Thing with Mimic versus Cyros is that, like... Cyros is definitely gonna get a load of fraud accusations because of the amount of times that they lose a battle, but they are a serious fucking deal. They are a full-on serious deal god. It just so happens that Tefarani exists and fucking hates him.
So, Mimic is presumably somewhat resistant to electricity.
Volcano.
And volcanoes.
Yeah.
Remember that Pikachu, I mean, granted with the help of a gym sprinkler system, could one-shot Brock's Onix.
Yeah.
They were also able to easily beat a Golem and a Rhydon.
That made me so mad as a kid. But I guess they needed some sort of, like, narrative excuse as for why Ash is able to beat Brock.
I could do that with my SI Pikachu.
Pikachu's tears specifically, but seemingly Pokemon tears in general can bring people back from the dead. Pikachu somehow lost to a level 5 Snivy, but can hold his own against legendaries.
If we apply that revival stuff to like be existing in the same universe as FNAF, does that imply that Pikachu's tears have some sort of remnant capabilities?
Yeah,
Pikachu just dispenses remnant from his freaking tears. And that's a thing he does on the regular. That's really fucking funny. I like that idea. I like the idea of applying remnant to Pokemon. Just because it will definitely piss people off.
like,
Remnant inherently pisses people off and makes them angry. And that's really funny to me. Because I love it when people get angry over things like that.
Pikachu was able to like vaporize an island. He tied with Latios. He could KO Leon's Charizard. 10 million volts. I mean, for God's sake, Pikachu could speak English. Pikachu could speak fucking English. That's the most impressive feat Ash's Pikachu has.
Yeah,
They can
and
speak everything.
Meowth has been doing that for fucking years.
We have been trained to. Pikachu just does that.
Pikachu just
True.
did that once.
That's
randomly,
true.
And decided to never do it again.
Like what? Did Oak tell him to do that?
I don't know.
Like
He
why
never
can
does it
Pikachu
like
do it? There is no like we don't even know if he actually did it or if it's like a hallucination or whatever from a weary Ash or something, or like I don't know what the fuck happens in I Choose You. But the moment that Pikachu opens its mouth, I tuned the fuck out.
And I bet you still probably don't remember what connection Marshadow and Ho-Oh have.
It's like the feather or something. Ash or someone has a fucking feather from Ho-Oh, and for some reason Marshadow gives a fuck. For some reason Marshadow cares about that and is pissed off about it. And I'm like, what do you have to do with Ho-Oh? You are literally Marshadow. Why do you care about the rainbow bird? You couldn't be any more opposite.
So I think Marshadow was meant to be like a mentor to whoever has the rainbow wing or something.
Shadow's job is to
Why,
knight
though?
the people chosen by Ho-Oh.
That feels so shoehorned in because nothing about Marshadow himself has anything to do with Ho-Oh. At all. Not even in the games do they ever make this connection. They just needed something in the movie to, like, promote the newest mythical, who you can only get for a limited time. Please indulge in our events. Fuck you.
Yeah,
And then Karina often gets the connection to Marshadow in Masters.
most.
Okay, but
of
Karina's at
the
least
lore-
connected to the fighting type.
Now, to be fair, most of the lore from mythicals comes from movies.
Marshadow and Karina have more in common. Well, yeah, in the movies, Volcano and Magiana are connected and nowhere else. But, like,
Volcano.
Marshadow, that doesn't feel as shoehorned in as Marshadow's inclusion in I Choose You, with a Pokemon from, like, fucking decades ago. There is zero thematic correlation between Marshadow and Ho-Oh, and it makes no sense.
If I had to pick a previous legendary to tie Marshadow into, it wouldn't be Ho-Oh.
It wouldn't be Ho-Oh. But they were remaking the first episode of Pokemon at the time, where, you know, Ho-Oh shows up at the end, and they were like, oh, the newest mythical right now is Marshadow, so I guess we have to somehow make this work. Let's not even fucking bother trying to make it make sense. Marshadow just does this.
Like, they put...
Does it make any sense for his character? No. Does he do it anyway? Yeah.
Tie them in with Darkrai, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but Darkrai wasn't in episode 1 of Pokemon. That was it's purely a commercial advertising thing. It's purely for advertisement reasons that the story of that movie is the way it is. Which is such a stupid way to write a story. But, you know, when you're the highest engrossing media franchise in the fucking world, I guess that's how you go about it.
Is I Choose You canon to the anime?
I don't know if I Choose You is just the retcon version of episode 1 or not. I don't know where it stands. And I don't fucking care either. Because I hate that movie.
It just makes the reason Pikachu doesn't want to be in the ball.
I hate that movie, but I'm not gonna throw a fit if it turns out being the canon version. Yeah, the reason Pikachu doesn't want to get in the ball, according to the movie, is because I always want to be with you. And I'm like, that's not the reason, you dipshit. He just hates being in the ball. He just doesn't. He's just disobedient. We are not doing this. We are not rewriting history like this. But we are. It's horrific. I fucking hate that movie.
If it wasn't for basically every piece of Pokemon media at the same time being advertising for Pokemon's merchandise, it would not be number 1.
Yeah. I have to be... I gotta be clear, I don't dislike Marshadow. I like Marshadow. I just think they could have done so much cooler with him than, like, try and force him into this role that he has fuck all to do with, just because he's the mythical of that time. It's a disservice to Marshadow, if anything.
If we excluded merchandising, Pokemon drops from number 1 to being below Disney princesses.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you get rid of the video games and the trading cards and the box office, like movies, TV,
If you get rid of
and all the
Pokemon,
manga, if you get rid of everything but the merchandising, it would still be number 1.
Yeah.
Granted, I think most of the top franchises are merchandising. Like Hello
Just getting through this
Kitty's
blood moon.
89 billion overall, 88.5 of which is from merchandising.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh is 76 billion, and only like half a billion of that comes from, just under half a billion comes from box office stuff.
Yeah, I just fucking do not understand that movie. I watched it when it happened to be on some random channel on TV one time, and I joined in halfway through it, and it was a miserable watching experience. Because I'd seen episode 1 of the Pokemon anime before that, and I felt insulted.
Only 3 of these things on this list make most of their money from the thing they actually are. Because Mario makes most of its money from video games, the MCU makes most of its money from movies, and Jump Comics makes most of its money from manga.
Well, if you can call them movies.
Don't do this. I
What?
swear to
What?
God.
Don't start hating on the MCU on stream.
Don't start hating on the MCU movies.
Why? Do you like them?
I
I'm not
think
gonna
they're
hold it against you if
overhated.
you like them.
I think they are overhated. I think it's.
I have never once cared about the MCU.
Hold on.
You hate how I hate I Choose You. I'm sorry, you're allowed to like it, I just don't. I think you're allowed to enjoy it, and if you can enjoy it, that's cool. You can find fun in something that I don't find fun in. More power to you. I just think it does a lot bad.
I'm gonna have to disappear. I'm in work early tomorrow.
Alright.
So.
Alright.
I need to be up at like 6 o'clock, so.
Okay.
See ya.
Ah, thank goodness the blood moon's over.
Oh, thank goodness the clearance is over. That is a mistake.
No, I had to make sure I clarified what I was actually talking about there.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, see ya.
Alright. Ominous storybook.
Thank
Isn't
goodness.
this, like, rare? I think that's rare. I don't care that much. I don't care about much Wrath of the Gods content outside of, like, the bosses, which I know might be seen as bad. Like, I make fun of people who are like, I don't care, I just want to fight bosses. The thing is, like, a lot of Wrath of the Gods stuff is, like, especially the post-Moonlord stuff with Avatar of Emptiness, it's very, very intrusive on you.
Can I
Like, it just kills all the music in the game because it feels like it to make you listen to ambience. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, this is Terraria and you want to get rid of the music?
I still can't believe Sam in forever. Of course.
There's so much here I gotta get rid of. Do I have a bandage already in here? Yes. Got 2 bandages off of all those enemies, and there's still some hanging around. Go away. Alright, I'll be finishing up soon, but I want to throw a few attempts at Perforators now that I'm better geared up for it. It should be fun. I like the Perforators normally. I don't remember too much about Infernum Perfs. I know that they have like a sicko mode when you get them down low enough and the hive starts getting pissed off at you. I know that much. Flamarang should be enough to deal with the dudes. Still got my Wayfinder set up over there. That's great. The Genesect one was the best Pokemon movie. I've only seen bits and pieces of the Genesect one. I think it was hype how they like built up the Mega Mewtwo form, even if it was just the one. But it was cool how they like hyped up Mega Evolutions with that movie. I just think Mega Evolutions are really cool. I mean, Kalos were my first games. I'm heavily biased towards Megas.
Mew 3, Mew 3, Mew 3.
I was confused at how, like, Mewtwo has a different voice in every single movie they're in. But honestly, it's kind of cool how every single time Mewtwo appears, they have a different voice entirely. It kind of adds to the mystique of Mewtwo and what the hell they are. I mean, we know exactly what Mewtwo is, but, you know. it's Mew that we don't really know what they are. But Mewtwo is still cool. Mew can probably do the same thing. Mew just decides that it doesn't want to speak.
Black and White was mostly aria of the anime. But as bad as a lot of it was, the movies did seem pretty good.
I remember at one point in school, like, we were watching Keldeo and the Swords of Justice. Or Kyurem and the Swords of Justice. The Keldeo movie. And, like, I didn't really care for it that much. But Kyurem was fucking cool. I cared about Kyurem, not really Keldeo.
I like Keldeo.
Kyurem was fucking cool, even if he was just acting as a movie villain for no reason other than because they needed one. Yeah, Mewtwo speaks in a female voice in the Genesect movie. Because, like, I guess it can choose whatever voice it wants.
I don't like the idea of being restricted to just Lumi Mouse, Lao Mouse City. I want to be able to travel the region and battle the gyms again, maybe in the post game.
Ouch.
You are very late to this revelation. This, I'm like watching videos on Z8. This person is very late to the revelation that it's only Lumios.
I saved a past Parasha, or whatever her name is, React image, recently. And it just reminded me of that.
I've had that. This Pokemon will be. I'm not.
Genuinely such a funny character design and character trope for, like, an alternate version of character who can predict the future. I like Pasparasha a lot. No clue if I'm saying her name right, but the fact that I remembered that much of it is a miracle in and of itself.
I think it's just Padparasha.
Padparasha. I'll try get it right. We got to the first worm again. This guy's bullets is a lot tougher than I remember. So this could take a while. He's gonna be a tough boy. I might need the Brain of Confusion. Ow. I do have Brain of Confusion and some buffs that I can get to make this better on myself. And I'd say it's probably time to grab those.
Steven Universe.
Another Traveling Merchant. The only thing I need from him is stuff for the Architect Gizmo pack. At the very start of the playthrough, he sold all 3 cell phone components at once. Which is exceptionally lucky. Gotta make sure I stay in the crimson parts of the arena so he doesn't enrage. That will make my situation so much worse.
This image, I need to do his. It's obvious why this image exists, but also really comical.
Okay, I'm learning his pattern now. He does 3 rounds of those, summons a Chimera, and then starts doing this. Until the first worm comes. Just gotta make sure I can keep hitting him. Yeah, when the first worm's out, he just starts doing this. Worm can shoot projectiles. I really like the concepts I've seen and heard about for Perforators and Hive Mind reworks. I think I've seen more for Perforators than I have Hive Mind. I think both are going to be peak when they eventually get their reworks and tier shifts, though. Making these 2 post-Moonlord is a really cool idea that would never have happened under the Fabsol regime. Because Fabsol just straight up said, oh, by the way, we're not doing this. And I'm like, okay, you hate fun. Fuck you. Oh, shoot. I'm throwing. You're so fast for no reason. Just die. Just die already. Shoot, I jumped into him! Feraligator's your favorite. Feraligator's a solid choice for favorite Pokemon. Feraligator is really cool.
Need a brain of confusion. I can probably use it over the Bend of Regen. Like, what do I still have that for? This is 100% charged now, but I'm kind of in the midst of fighting Perforida. Bit too
Don't be
late.
silly. Rose Quartz isn't real.
Holy crap, it's real! Brewer where? Brewer there. Alright. Time to be a chud and use Alk NPC. Integrity be damned, these potions are bussin'. Old Lord Claimer will be way more better for killing most pre-hard mode bosses. Yeah, I know. I know. I know it's still pretty powerful even though they nerfed it. But I'm pretty sure... I feel like I can do it even without it. I mainly just cannot be bothered trying to kill bone serpents for hours at a time. If I don't get the Old Lord Claimer, like by random chance, then I can't be bothered to get it. Because I tried that a few streams ago, and it didn't work out. Well, hey, Totodile's in Legend ZA, so Feraligatr might be getting a popularity comeback. He might be getting some more love recently in the community. We'll have to see.
It is the most popular looking of the ZA starters with a lot of the reaction.
Yeah. But Chikorita's one of my favorites, so I understand liking Pokemon that aren't necessarily that popular.
I like Chikorita. Safari. I like Meganium.
I like the full line, yeah. The designs are just very cool. I don't understand people who hate how Chikorita looks.
It's not cool enough.
It's like the same people who didn't like Primarina when she was revealed as Poplio's final evolution, and I'm like, have some joy in your heart. Primarina's amazing.
People were just like, this will not be real. It is rigged.
Yeah.
Pokemon would never.
Well, I got news for you, buddy. Pokemon did.
And they should continue to.
Yeah. Primarina's awesome. She's a fairy-type starter. She's the first of her kind. She and her, even though, like, the gender ratio is more likely to be male. God, society.
More girly pop.
We live in a society. Truly.
I doubt they'll do another Charizard. For once, I doubt it.
I don't know, Kalos was the generation that let you choose a second set of starters from Kanto. Maybe they'll do it again.
Or maybe.
It's fucked up that this is basically a pre-hard mode version of Calamitus's Hellblast attack, when you really think about it.
What's the generation who starters, like, zero with starters have anything? Because obviously Gen 5 starting. Gen 7's got some.
Gen 4,
Gen-
probably.
Gen 4 got...
Ah, does this worm still split even in Infernum? Ah, that's sucky. Especially for this weapon. Let's try this thing.
Oh, yeah.
This thing hits multiple targets. Could be good.
Gen 4, I believe, is the one generation where its starters don't have... Not any of its starters have anything.
Typical Gen 4 being sourceless.
If only the remakes decided to...
If only the remakes decided to do fucking anything. But no. Gen 4 gets fuck all outside of literally just Platinum. Platinum is the one saving grace Gen 4 has.
That and starting the Legends.
Yeah. Legends Arceus is, I guess, is technically a Gen 4 thing. Not in terms of when it came out and what generation it's actually a part of, but it's like content for Sinnoh.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, obviously Legends Arceus is actually part of, like, Gen 8 or whatever.
Yeah. And what a way to end that generation, by the way.
Yeah, they made an actual good game. Well, it's an alright game. It's better than Sword and Shield, so, like...
I still haven't beat it.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's, like, the best. From what I've seen.
Legends. I love Legends.
But it's not bad by any means. It's not, like... It looks a lot more fun than Sword and Shield was for me. Because I only actually played Sword and Shield out of Gen 8. Didn't play Brilliant Diamond, didn't play Legends. Literally just had zero interest in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and I just never picked up Legends Arceus. Okay, you can stop that now.
Stop what?
The performators, they're just... nailing me. They're charging downwards now, and that threw me off. This might not be the attempt, because there's still another phase after this if I can get through this.
I didn't know the Drift Veil City music was Drift Veil.
Is that black and white?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that. I don't like that song. I feel insane for not liking that song, but I just don't, and I'm sorry. Because I know literally everyone and their mother loves that song and uses it all the time. I just don't like it. I find it annoying. And I can't fully explain it. This is probably going to hit more consistently, if I'm being honest. Oh right, this. I completely forgot about this.
Lacey's from Drift Veil.
Shit.
Yeah, she is because she's Clay. Yeah.
Oh, I got him! I got him! Let's go! Got him! I wasn't expecting to actually win that attempt.
Shout out Clay for having an ancestor reveal and a child reveal.
Phew. Phew!
They gave him quite a bit of attention recently.
I think people who are like don't understand Perforators and Hive Mind moving into post Moonlord tier don't understand that they're not gonna be the same fight when they shift tier. Like, obviously they're getting reworked completely if they are shifting tiers entirely. Complete redesign, complete, like, fight overhaul to a degree at which the mod may have never seen before.
Have you seen the new TCG thing?
No. I'm gonna visit the Ice Lab now that that's dealt with.
It's called
It's this way.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Black Bolt, and White Flare.
I see. So people are kind of like going like, like a Roblox ghost.
Well, that trademark was something people thought was, and before the trademark was something people thought the remakes were going to be called, because that's how artworks in the game refer to Zekrom and Reshiram. And instead they've used it for Scarlet and Violet TCG.
It's a bit of a funny troll, if I gotta be honest.
But the cards look immaculate.
If it's not building up to anything, that's a really fucking funny troll. What am I playing tomorrow? Probably part 4 of this.
Funny
It's
screen.
gonna be a pretty long playthrough. Well, not that long for Infernum standards. I don't know. We'll have to see. I've got pretty fast at beating this mode recently, since I've done it a lot. Okay.
Yeah,
Apparently the lab is just down from here. I just gotta start digging down. Straight down.
This channel's mostly gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look through the history, it's mostly Terraria.
Most of my streams are just
Nice.
Terraria because I love this mod. As soon as that Management Wanted update comes out, it's gonna be a lot of Management Wanted. I just don't know when that's gonna be. To my utter dismay, I was looking in the Discord server a few days ago, and they said that development of 1.4 is, like, going slower now because the dev team's become obsessed with a Forsaken. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, yeah, you do you play the games that you find fun, but this game that I absolutely fucking despise is now actively halting development of this thing I've been excited for. That is such a shitty feeling. Even if the devs are having fun playing the game.
What happened to all the old streams?
What do you mean?
The oldest stream we can watch of yours is 3 months old. It's the Wrath of the Gods Calamity Part 6.
No, it's not. Your browser's just fucking up or something.
It's the default YouTube mobile app.
Yeah. I didn't say that doesn't mean it won't fuck up.
Oh, I have to sort by oldest
way.
to see anything older. Otherwise, by default, it only shows me up to 3, but...
Yeah. It's YouTube, it's mobile YouTube app. You assume it's any good? No, it's shit. And it only gets worse every update.
All Eggman voice lines, Sonic Frontiers.
Still one of the best ideas I ever had for this channel. Oh yeah, I get innate lava charm effect. Because I have the funny molten armor. Diving gear. Now I don't know why I thought this would give me ice skates. Because in hindsight, it just gives me the diving gear. Which is nice to have, but that's not the reason I came here. Okay, let's do this logically and reasonably. Also, area lights available to me now. I ought to grab that. Next boss is Queen Bee. Which probably I can't imagine myself taking too long on. And then Skeletron. Skeletron may take a bit longer. Just because he does still have a few attacks that screw me up, even though I know how the fight goes at this point. That one attack where he, like, does the wave of skulls, that's the hardest part for me. Not the wall one. The one where he, like, the one that's similar to Poltergeist's Red Bolt attack is the one that I find worse in Skeletron's fight. Rotten Brain. Rotten Brain is nice. Probably better than Croc Carapace? No idea. What am I talking about? Bloody Wormtooth is literally a melee accessory. Put that on.
Dreamer Wormtongue.
Put that on. Stop throwing, you freaking stupid streamer.
Pokemon!
You make me look bad.
It won't be Pokemon Uranium.
No. I'll have to look into Pokemon Uranium. I don't know how easy it is to download, because one of the biggest popularity boosts Uranium got was the fact that its release was immediately stunted. Like, Nintendo was... Oh, fuck! That's the third time! Oh, it gets worse every time it happens. You have no idea. That one got me the worst yet. That's worse than anything that happened in Secret of the Mimic. Oh my god. Oh, I need to uninstall this mod. Fuck, I need to uninstall this mod. I can't deal with this. I actually can't deal. I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna start fucking crying, dude. I can't deal with this. Why did I do that? Why did I download this stupid mod?
Oh! I'm gonna need clips of every single time that happens throughout this playthrough. Like Germa getting lightning jump scared. That was supposed to be scary. It's a cheap jump scare. It's a cheap jump scare, and it's like a cheap way to scare someone. But jump scares really get me sometimes, and it's embarrassing, and I'm just embarrassing myself on stream more than I usually do by installing this mod. But I thought it would be a really funny idea to do it. And now I have to pay with the consequences of my own stupidity yet again. I need a shark fin for water walking boots. Unless I can visit the Tinkerer. I could have sworn he only sold that after Skeletron.
Mark, use acid.
God, that video. Classic. Absolute classic. Now I
I
need
saw it referenced
two skulls.
recently in a new TCG Ultra Beasts video.
Molten Skull Rose. That can probably make lava waders, right? Yeah. Now I just need boots. Boots. We've got Terraspark boots already. Granted, I used Alk NPC to do it. But I was literally one water walking boots potion off.
I think it was Naganado's card couldn't have the same move name as it did in Japanese because it references something that stems from acid as in the drug. Being the music genre acid house.
What's
So
a
it's
genre?
electro house in English.
I see. Well, Electro House is just a cooler name anyway. Electro is a cooler adjective.
Because all of them all the Ultra Beasts in the new set, they have a move that's named after a genre. I think Poipole has two-step. Guzzlord has grindcore.
Why do they do that with the Ultra Beasts? That's an interesting motif to give them.
It's just nice further theming, I guess. And also, the Locked in Modern video goes into like theories on how they're connected to the genre.
Who's gonna get into Pokemon Uranium? I'll look into it. No promises though, because I really do just stream whatever I feel like. There isn't really any theme to what I stream. I literally just do this in my free time for fun.
Hello, Ali.
Yes, hello. We are about to end because it's coming up on 11 o'clock here. I might have to go for like shorter in the next stream as well, a shorter amount of time. I don't know if I can extend to 11 o'clock tomorrow. I have things to... I'm going to be out all day the day after. So, like, I don't know how long I can go for tomorrow. We'll have to see. This is basically all the time I have for today, though. We did good. We did good. We beat the Crimson bosses. I didn't know if we were going to be able to beat Perforators, but I pulled through. Who's pinging me here? Ah. Okay, I've resent memes. Alright. Okay, thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for watching the stream. I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for a little longer stream. Shout out to the country turkey. And shout out to the animal as well.
They changed its name. It's actually pronounced Turkey, like officially.
Officially? Oh.
Yeah, even in English.
Oh. I didn't know that. Shout out Turkey then. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna hop off now. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow for more Infernum mod. Yeah. I can't wait to suffer against Skeletron a little bit. I consider myself good at him now, but yeah, I still get thrown off by the one attack he does. We'll see how I do then. Anyways, yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.